go. Hustle hard in the camp, we grind till our bones. Stacking up dreams, ain't nobody here alone. Late nights we stay lit, strategizing every move. Rising like the sun, man, you know we gotta prove. In the struggle we unite, every setback just fuels the fight. Can't hustle, we're breaking the mold. Chasing the dreams that we've all been told. In unity we rise and we shine. With every heartbeat, success will be mine. Till dawn, we ain't got no regrets. Chasing after cash, never falling for debts. Every corner we flip, every risk that we take. Building up our empire, yeah, we rise from the wake. In the grind, we found our role. With passion and fire, we're on a roll. Can't hustle, we're breaking the mold. Chasing the dreams that we've all been told. In unity, we rise and we shine. With every heartbeat, success will be mine. We hustle hard, we never fall. Success will be mine. We hustle hard, we never fall. In this camp we stand tall.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Camp Hustle One here, back with another video. How you guys doing tonight, man? Good to see you guys all back again. Welcome to the stream, Cavos. Welcome to the stream, Exo Charles, man. Let's jump right into it. Hello, hello. So I'm back with another one, man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, man. Another Saturday night, chilling with the hustlers, man. Yeah, man, we're gonna jump into it. Got some catching up to do. I know I've kind of been off the internet. I've been locking in life and, you know, just really staying focused. And now, like I said, like last stream, man, I'm ready to get back in the swing of these Saturday night streams. And, you know, there's a lot that I need to catch up with. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right. So what's new, guys? What's new? What have I been missing lately? I was checking in on Fresh and Fit. See, they're still going strong. Well, at least they're going strong separately, you know, in terms of their content. I did see this on Length or Girth. I haven't been on this website in a while. But let's see. It says Walter is catching strays after Myron compliments him as a real one. Now, everybody knows that Myron has Walter's back, and, you know, this will always, he'll always be his #1 cheerleader. So let's see what Myron has to say here.
I tell you guys that me and Fresh are like the last real niggas left. I mean that shit, bro. We're like one of maybe 5 streamers that never.
Oh, wait, hold on. We got some commenters here. First guy said, "Nah, man, it's just you. Fresh is a grifter and clout chaser. Myron, you are the only wolf." And then the next guy said, "Facts, man. 10K real views is better than 1 million botted views." Now, I think we've exposed on this channel that FNF do bot their channel on YouTube and also on Rumble. And they've been doing it for years. And now that they've been demonetized, it's even more apparent. There's nothing, this guy said, there's nothing real about Walter. Myron is the only reason the pod has been successful. You remove Myron, it's over. Now, you know, I did say something similar about a year ago in my book, Why Myron Deserves Fresh. For those of you who haven't seen that, I did a live reading on YouTube. It's on the channel. You guys, I mean, I started off as a joke, but then too many people asked me for it, so I ended up making it. And yeah, you guys can search it on YouTube. It's pretty funny. But let's see what else people said about this.
Never botted our shit. I'll be like, bro, how does this guy have this many viewers? Like, something's off.
I knew Fresh would be excluded before I opened the comments. For the Fresh haters, Myron chose Fresh because he's smart and needs someone chill for the ladies. Myron is really smart, fit, intelligent, and aggressive, which, and then, I don't know, there's more to read, but they didn't click on it. Nothing real about Fresh, and Myron is a clown for pretending. Well, you know, they got to be a united front. That is, that's something that I touched on in the book, that Myron will never chastise Fresh publicly, but he'll definitely do it off stream in terms of, you know, their business relationship. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want them to seem weak, you know?
But the problem is these young boys, they all bop. AMP, Face, all these niggas bop. Shit's ridiculous. Kick and Twitch have a serious botting problem. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, Rumble bots too. Rumble doesn't bop, bro. Rumble is
Machiavelli, hi. Did you see how Fresh always tries to put Chris on blast? Dude, that is a rivalry that has been going on for as long as the show. I mean, I kind of relate it to like Timmy versus like, who's the guy on South Park? Timmy and the other guy, the guy that Timmy and Jimmy, I think. But yeah, they had like a fight and stuff like that. But you know, they will say that one stutter's worse than the other, and one is more charismatic than the other. Now, I've heard Fresh say that Chris is funny, and I've heard Chris say that, you know, Fresh is hilarious, but I think at the end of the day, it's just guys being guys, boys being boys. I mean, if you can't riff with your friends, you know, they're not real friends. But I think it's funny when they call each other out. It's always a good laugh. I love seeing Chris call Fresh out on his stuttering, and I mean, he doesn't miss anything. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Chris. I think he's great when he modifies his alcohol. When he doesn't go overboard with it, he can be pretty damn funny. But sometimes he takes it a little too far, and he kind of stumbles into Walter territory. Fresh has too many secrets about Myron. That's, yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Exo Charles. It might be the reason why they haven't separated publicly. And, you know, I think what it's going to have to happen is their YouTube channel is going to have to get shut down by YouTube, by, I don't know, people, by YouTube themselves, or by enough people, you know, not liking them and stuff. But as long as, you know, they're not being paid for their content, I think it's enough motivation for them to kind of seek other platforms to dispense their content on. And you know, Fresh still has the as far as I know, I haven't watched it, Fresh is still doing his podcast, right? I think with Gary the Numbers Guy. I haven't checked in with him, but the last thing I remember was he was sitting all the way to the left or all the way to the right, just being quiet while everybody else was talking on his podcast. It could be Dom Luker or anybody on the, I think even Zerka was on there. And yeah, I mean, anybody that has a voice, anybody that's charismatic will jump on the podcast and pretty much take it over. And yeah, it's just, you know, I've said this before. Fresh needs to have somebody that has ideas, someone who has a mouthpiece, and someone who's entertaining, because, you know, Fresh can only just fill a seat, you know? All you need is 4 buttons. I've said this a long time ago. Machiavelli came back. He says, no, I noticed Chris held back to say something, and Fresh hated on him in front of OnlyFans girls. Trust me, it's not boys being boys. Well, I never said that Fresh is not a snake, okay? We saw how Fresh reacted to Zerka, okay? He called him a PDF file. Remember when they were in the Twitter spaces, and he literally had that as the title. So he was talking pretty greasy about Zerka, and then somehow Zerka and Myron never really had beef and everything. But I'm pretty sure it was Myron that kind of calmed that fire down and said, hey, you know, Zerka's one of our friends. And yeah, he was basically coming in between them and said, hey, you know, you need to just kind of like chill out with this. You're just kind of spreading a lot of hearsay about it, even though, you know, there's plenty of video proof of Zerka with young girls that possibly were underage, but that was during the heel mic days. You know, it's all ancient history now. They're back to being good because I mean, Zerka was on the podcast, and Walter was seeming pretty friendly with him. So I'm guessing he took all of the accusations back, and I guess it's all water under the bridge now. But no, I didn't see that. I didn't see Chris saying something, and then I guess, I mean, I know that Fresh has like hated on him in front of like the guests and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, it's just snake stuff, you know. I will say that Walter has no honor as a guy, you know. He's just kind of blurts stuff out, so it's never, he doesn't really have any tact, because I don't think his brain has really time to catch up with his mouth, which is an issue if you're going to be in front of a microphone and speaking to millions of people. Machiavelli came back. He said, glad to catch you live though, brother. I can tell you this Myron is the only guy who says the truth, and I know he's a hypocrite, but he does say the truth. Well, I mean, I will say this. There are certain things that Myron will say, I think, for shock value, and you know, I think he's trying to go viral with his clips and stuff, whether it creates a lot of discussion or, you know, debates and stuff like that. I think that's kind of what he's trying at now. Like, that's just the formula. Just, I mean, I don't know if he fully believes in all the stuff that he preaches, but I mean, the way that he carries himself, it just seems that he drives away the girls, man. Like, he doesn't care that he drives away the girls. He would rather just kind of, you know, I guess, talk to the guys, have his little group, his little echo chamber, and it works for him. It's just kind of wild how things have kind of spiraled, and then he's just kind of built things back up in terms of his own platform. And you know, I mean, people find him interesting and informative when it comes to like the government stuff, the, you know, CIA, you know, stuff that's not really, you know, well known. I mean, whether you guys want to take any of the things that he says with a grain of salt, I will say that this guy does his research. So whether it's the whole angle of, you know, the truth and everything, I know it's his perspective. And that's really all you can really take with it, you know. But I always tell people, just think for yourself, you know. It's fine to listen to people's perspectives, but you don't have to like adopt. And I think that's the thing about Myron's followers, is that his followers will adopt anything he says, and then they'll try to take what he, in terms of his like his advice and everything, or I guess any of the truth that he spreads about like modern women, politics and stuff, and then they will go out in the world and try to like parrot his ideas, and not most of the time it doesn't work. You know. Cook Benny, welcome to the stream. Sup, Camp? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, man, we're having a regular old hangout tonight. Just catching up with you guys, man. Like, I know the last couple streams I was hanging out with some friends and stuff, some old friends and some new friends. But yeah, man, I'm just glad to be back in the swing, dude. I really am. And, you know, have you guys all here, you know, I'm glad you guys stuck with me, man. I did meet a comedian tonight, and I spoke to him for a while. I plan on having him on the stream because he was like just a really cool guy. And I think it would be nice to kind of bring on people that, you know, are a part of the industry, you know, have, you know, rubbed elbows with, you know, a lot of famous people like, you know, Patrice O'Neal, rest in peace, Dave Chappelle, you know, Bill Burr, all the comedy legends and stuff. I think it would be a nice chat, and you know, just chop it up for a bit, man. Have some people that are, you know, pretty entertaining, not necessarily have opposing ideas, but, you know, I like to talk to people that, you know, have experienced life and have, you know, I can gain a lot of knowledge from people who've been around the world and have had a lot of experiences and just have many stories. But yeah, look out for that. I've already invited him to the Discord. I told him, I was like, look, I'm going to be streaming every Saturday night, 11:45. If you ever want to hop in the chat or jump in the Discord, you know, and if any of you want to jump on my Discord, I have the link in the description. So feel free to jump in, and, you know, we can chop it up, man. I don't know if you guys caught last stream, but Taking Souls for Free jumped in just on a whim, and you guys are all open for that too, man. I would love to just hang out with you guys and listen to y'all, and, you know, whatever you guys want to talk about. But yeah, man, if you guys have anything that you want me to talk about in terms of like Chris holding back and Fresh hating on him and stuff in front of women, that kind of stuff, I know it's just like it's everywhere, man. People, I do follow a lot of I guess Fresh and Fit clip channels, and I see a lot of this stuff, but I've really kind of like been unplugged from the entire internet for a while because I've just kind of been dealing with real life recently, and but you know, I'm ready to see what's going on. Let's see what's going on with the rest of this video, because it just seems like a lot of fans are still voicing their opinions about Walter, and Myron just acts like he's blind and can't see this shit. It's like, you gotta read this stuff. He's fake and soft and not educated. Myron is the whole show. Without him, there's no show. And, you know, these are all ideas I've said like a year ago, man. And it's cool to see that a lot of the people are kind of sharing the same sentiment.
Publicly traded. When I tell you guys that me and Fresh are like the last real niggas left, I mean that shit.
Wait, the whole streaming industry bots have been known. It's a lot of these streamers signed to a talent agency that takes 70 to 80% of their money. Myron, maybe I have my doubts, but Fresh is not real. You do not call Sneeko out for a fight and then pull out like a coward. Oh man, they had to make that so public, and then they had Aiden Ross promote the whole thing, even do like a crappy trailer for it, and then he just backed out and made a bunch of excuses. I don't know, man. I was kind of one of the early people when Fresh challenged Sneeko to a boxing match that I'm like, dude, this is never gonna happen, dude. Like, you're too much of a pussy to actually like put your dukes up and actually do something about it. We know that Fresh is soft like a fucking marshmallow, okay? Remember that dude that came up to him in Las Vegas and just straight kissed him on the cheek? He did absolutely nothing. He giggled a little bit, but then like, yeah, he did nothing about it. And yeah, man, it was just, I'm like, come on, Fresh. We all know that you got no fight in you, bro. So it's I mean, I wanted to see it, but I knew it was never gonna happen. I mean, I think you guys all knew that as well.
Shit, bro. We're like one of maybe 5 streamers that never bought.
That's y'all's integrity, bro. Please take the loans from certain companies and banks. Shout out to Fresh. I love you, bro, but fuck them. But F the haters, man. Dude, there's too many haters, man. And you know, the fact that there's, I would say that the army of haters of Fresh, it's funny because it's like you don't really see that many Myron haters. I think there are definitely some Myron haters out there that, you know, they have platforms and stuff, but I just think that they'll just openly just spew this stuff in their comments, and I know they see it, but the thing is, you just can't like let that shit get to you, you know. And I kind of take a page out of, you know, anybody's book that has to deal with hate online, and you really can't let it get to you, man. You know, like the internet is it's a wild west, man. People will just be, especially internet trolls, they'll just say whatever, and if you react to it, it's like you kind of let them win, you know. And the best thing to do is just not react. Fresh and Fit are still a thing, bro. I don't even know, man. Like, they could have already split up, and then we're just watching reruns at this point, and I would not know the difference. That's literally how it's gotten. I have not seen an episode of the After Hours in like forever, so I don't know, man. It's just been. I'm just waiting for the ad to show where. You know, Fresh and Fit have finally broken up, or they're finally, you know, going their separate ways, whatever. I'm just waiting for that to happen. I did see something about Angie and Myron breaking up, but I don't know if that's true because I didn't look into it. But I did say that if that did happen, I think Myron is going to go full. What's the word? You never go full. You guys, R word. I don't want to say it right now, but you know, I'm pretty sure that. If Myron was single once again, and you know, Angie and whatever was through, because we knew that Angie was a beard, we knew that, you know, she wasn't a real, you know, relationship. It was just for show. It was just to kind of shield Myron from the not gays, and it was an agreement. You know, you stay, make me look heterosexual, and I put you up and you don't have to work. I mean, it seems like a pretty good deal when you think about it from a woman's perspective. You know, all she has to do is act for a couple hours a day while on stream, and then whenever off stream, she can go hang out, go to the club, try not to let these videos get released of her at the club with, you know, guys and girls, because it really creates an issue. Because Myron has an image, okay? Myron has an image that he's trying to uphold, but it keeps getting fucked up by the people that he works with. I mean, you got Fresh over here destroying their credibility. You got Angie over here, you know, kind of like not really going with the rules of what Myron is setting. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like the facade is falling, and the real ones know that, you know, you can't really practice what you preach. It's all just kind of an act. And, you know, if you guys, I mean, you guys are informed. You guys know that this stuff online is just a persona. It's not real. I would say 99% of the advice that Myron and Fresh say, you can't really apply it to your real life. Maybe the, like, you know, like working out and all that stuff and eating right and calorie deficit and all that stuff. All that stuff, yes. But in terms of like, I don't know. I don't even want to like spew the stuff he says. But what I will say is that you can't go looking for an internet daddy online, especially in this like red pill space. Is the red pill even a thing, man? Is the red pill still alive? Like, is Rollo Tomasi on life support? I haven't even heard from that guy in a while. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, has all this stuff just gone to the wayside and we're just beating a dead horse at this point? You know, is there anything else left to roast? That's the real question. Let's see if there's any more here.
At our ship, I'll be like, bro, how does this guy have this many viewers? Like, something's off here. But the problem is these young boys.
I seriously doubt Rumble doesn't bot. If a person can do something, they will have or are doing it. Maybe you, Myron, but we all know Fresh is nothing without you. Zerka or Sneeko, and gets 100 sub viewers. Now, this is fairly true. I want to say that I think it was because I remember Myron and Fresh streaming at the same time. This was when Myron was at the college debate and Fresh was doing his podcast with Gary and I believe it was Dom Luker. And I think he had like 30 viewers while Myron had like a couple thousand. And it just goes to show you that it really takes some charisma, and I don't know, like, you got to have something to say for people to really want to, you know, relate to you. But I don't know. I remember watching, you know, a little bit of the Myron college debate and then watching the stuff on Fresh, like on Reddit, because it was just clips, whatever. I will never just like watch a live stream. But yeah, people were pointing out that, yeah, it's only like 30 viewers. And I'm like, well, that shit's probably botted too, man. Like, you got to start it up in the beginning. But yeah.
They all bot. AMP phase, all these.
Here's me and Fresh, Sigs and Opens comment. It's true. It's true. I mean, the fact that you got defending Fresh is a full-time job for Myron. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Hold phase has been around since the early 2010s. It's not the same, but it's a legit reason why they are so big. Yeah, I mean, you put some time into YouTube, man. You build an audience. So.
It's ridiculous. Kick and Twitch have a serious botting problem. And
I see Myron is still delusional about Fresh. Dude, can nobody tell Myron nothing about Fresh, okay? I freaking spent like 20 minutes trying to talk about Fresh, and it was just like talking to a freaking brick wall. Freaking my guy, Eventual Warlord, spent like an hour talking about it, and it just went nowhere, man. Walter is a scrub. He must have a rich family. Well, you know, there's a little bit of truth to that. There was one other thing I saw on Reddit. Oh, what do these guys have that I don't? And it's just a bunch of black men with some white ladies, and you got a little brown lady here, another brown lady here. But yeah, this looks like prom. If I were to guess, these guys are probably part of the football team, possibly basketball team, and these are the cheerleaders. I mean, it would make sense. But yeah, it seems like Length of Girth has a lot of incels on here that are just kind of wondering, well, incel Caucasians that are just wondering why all of these women are being pictured with these guys. But, you know, when you think about it, it's just prom, dude. It's not like, you know, it's just one day. But yeah, like I said, it's probably sports. Oh, we've seen this, the Hot Crazy Matrix. We've seen that one before. What is this? RIP Day 1, FNF viewers know. Adult film actress Miss John Doe, 24, passes away after her third BBL procedure. Friends say it was a blood clot was to blame. Okay, I don't know who this is, but damn, 24, that's young, man. And over a BBL too. I mean, there's a lot of pressure in the adult industry for plastic surgery, so yeah, it's a lot of risk you got to take, man. Coke Penny says you can show him the video proof of Fresh being a simp, and Myron will deflect and defend Fresh. Well, I mean, in the age of AI, Myron will just claim that it's AI. He's like, you guys are just making this shit up. Like, he refuses to believe. And you know what? He can say that. He can say that, you know, it's probably AI. You could probably have a video of Fresh paying for box, you know, money in hand, handing it to the escort, and you know, Myron will just be like, it's a write-off, okay? It's just like, come on, dude. You gotta stop making excuses for this guy, man. As soon as you admit that there's a problem is when you can start solving it, okay? But, you know, if you don't recognize the problem, man, you just keep letting it get worse. Exotrial says, I think Length of Girth subreddit has more black men than white. You know what? I don't know. I used to be on there regularly, and they had a lot more funny content, but it just seems like you got a lot of yeah, I guess it's like a lot of the same posters that are on there, and just putting up pretty much a lot of racist stuff. But I do see a lot of like incel stuff too. Coke Benny says, damn, everyone is dying. That sucks. I know, bro. Okay, so let's go through the list. Michael Madsen, Hulk Hogan, who else? Ozzy Osbourne. What's that guy? Malcolm Jamal, Warner, whatever. Who else? There's a lot, man. Julian McMahon. Who else? There's a lot, man. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people die all the time. It just seems that a lot of stars are dying right now. It just goes to show you, man, that we're all getting older, okay? And life is short, okay? So cherish the connections that you've made with people. You know, it's only in our knowledge of death that we strive to leave our mark upon this earth. And whether it's a positive or a negative, you know, I think it's better to leave an impact, and hopefully people will discover you long after you're gone and appreciate your contribution to this earth. Men have gotten to the point where they are catfishing women now. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Get yourself a pair.
From 5'5" to 6 feet tall. That's what the startup Brandone promises with their new HiPads 1.0. It's an orthopedic insole developed to support your feet and make you up to 3 inches taller with any shoe.
Have you guys heard those new Draco slides? They add like, I think, an inch to your height. I'm seeing ads for Draco slides everywhere, not just like on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It's like, the marketing is crazy. I'm seeing these Draco slides, and yeah, one of the selling points is that it adds like an inch to your height or whatever. So yeah, I mean, in fact, I guess that they're comfortable and everything like that. They're giving people a little bit of an inch, so they can claim if they're 5'9" or 5'11", they're like, I'm 6 feet, you know? It's like, yeah, don't take off your shoes, okay? I mean, it's tough out here for the short king, so shout out to these guys. Okay, damn, everyone's dying. And someone died on Friday. I don't remember all, but I know it was a female actress's husband. I saw that. I think it was like, was it Kelly Clarkson's husband? Or I think it was a singer or an actress's husband. I think I saw it. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, dude, everybody's dying. And they're dying young, too. People are dying at like 40, you know? 40, you know, some people at like, you know, their 20s and early 30s and stuff. And yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Life is short, man. We can all be gone tomorrow. Okay, so don't be afraid to speak your mind. All right, that stuff, worrying about what people say and stuff. Oh shit, David, I didn't even see you. I skipped right over you. Welcome to the stream, sir, all the way from England. Hi, Camp. You cooked fresh when you called in, and Myron didn't know what to say. Bro, nobody had anything for me. I was waiting for a little bit of pushback. I got nothing pushback, bro. Nothing. It was just They just let me talk. I think they were trying to get me to like talk myself into a corner or whatever, but I'm like, no, I got these points prepared, man. Okay, I didn't have my notes, but I was working off of memory. Like this right here, memory foam. Let's see
Made
this.
of the same materials seen in high-end running shoes, they offer comfort and feedback throughout your whole day. And with their new offer, you get the chance to test them for 90 days and your money back if you don't like them. Over 48,500 customers are already using them every day and feel more confident and attractive because of it.
Okay, so you guys are walking around on your tippy toes. This is pretty much high heels for men, okay? It's like, just do the high heels for men, you know? And we can start feeling more confident. We can get the better clean air. And, you know, we're not scared to talk to women, okay? We can just walk up to them with the confidence and, you know, possibly look down and be like, oh, how are you doing? Coke Betty says, they're too defeated from the call with Eventual Warlord. Like I said, Eventual Warlord cooked him. He cooked him for a solid hour on high heat, and he left that oven on when he left, okay? Because they were still burning. And then I show up 4 hours later, and I just said, yeah, 17 more minutes, man. I'm still laughing about that shit, man.
Until midnight, there is a 40% off sale going, so you better be fast and grab yourself a pair.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you guys do whatever you got to do to make yourself attractive, but you still got to work on your voice, okay? You still got to be someone that someone would like to listen to and have something to say, you know? Be original. Sometimes it's easier just to, like, I don't know, man. It's just easier just to not care, you know? I know that when guys are single for a long time, there's a switch that happens in their brain where they just kind of just speak and just say whatever's on the mind, and they're not really cautious with what they say. They kind of just fly off at the mouth. You don't want to be that bad. You want to still have a little bit of tact, but you just don't want to care too much about what people think. And I get it, man. I was 20 years old one time, and I remember I used to really like want to always have like good posture and, you know, not be socially awkward and everything. But I realized that being who I am, having the friends that I have, it's just easier to be around people that I recognize, people that, you know, I've spent some time in, put some time in, or whatever. Meeting new people was, I was always meeting new people when I was with people that I already knew. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's like whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of the hustlers don't really have issues like that, social issues, but you know, there's some people that I know that could use a little bit of I guess anxiety meds or something, you know, because I think that was kind of the issue that some guys that have trouble walking up to women and just engaging with them, you know, it's like you want to not say the wrong thing, but at the same time, it's like you kind of want to just put so much pressure on yourself, man. And you know, yeah, sure, you could definitely say something to trip you up and make you sound kind of weird, whatever, but there's always that one chance that someone will find you funny, and it's almost better for someone to find you funny than find you weird. You know, I think after you reach a certain age, it's just always weird. You know, you just got to be that person's cup of tea in order for them to like pass you. Let's see what this one says. Pearl respectfully calls out all husbands as simps and says there is no more virgins because they've all been finger blasted. Pearl also heard that Emily Saves America got finger blasted at a TradCon event. I didn't hear about this. I don't really pay attention to Pearl, but let's see what she says here.
Their wedding night. If they went to college, that might fool your simp husband. Doesn't fool me. I'm sorry, in the most respectful way. You probably got finger blasted or something. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying you're wrong for that. You're an adult. You have a sex drive. I don't care. I know they keep saying Emily got finger blasted at TPUSA. I don't really care.
I mean, she's just straight talking greasy, man. It just seems like Pearl, she has to, now that she's been remonetized, she has to kind of play ball, you know, to her audience, in terms of, you know, keeping her image clean. But I think when she's on these Twitter spaces, she's just like, she feels like a little bit of release. She can let loose and, you know, maybe still say some greasy stuff from time to time. But she's not going to do that on the YouTube channel, okay? She's going to keep the YouTube channel kind of clean, you know, not spick and span, but she's gonna try to not get demonetized again, because boy, that was tough, you know, for her, at least when she went job hunting. That was that's pretty memorable. Coke Penny says Pearl is still a thing. Dude, I don't know, man. The red pill could be completely obliterated and we wouldn't even know it, because I didn't get the news, okay? Or at least I haven't been paying attention to the news. Wife refuses to have sex with husband for 2 years because she was too busy smashing Tyrone. And this is interesting. 30 seconds. Let's check it out.
Yes or no? Do you love your husband?
I do.
Yes or no? Do you love your boyfriend more?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? Do he?
But you said you weren't sure that your husband still loves you.
Right.
Why?
I don't feel it. I don't feel like.
Are y'all intimate?
No.
How long has it been?
About 2 years.
Girl.
Now, I mean, I think what could happen, or what's possibly happening in this relationship, is that, yeah, the guy probably has lost interest in her, you know, and maybe he has he probably has another woman, or maybe he has, I don't know, maybe even an addiction of some kind, or maybe he's just lost interest, man. But somehow they're still staying together, because, you know, I guess for some guys it's cheaper to keep her, better to not end the relationship and having to owe this woman a bunch of money, you know, if you can just let her have a boyfriend and get her fixed some other way, and you can maybe, I'm just thinking, I'm just spitballing here, maybe he's like, you know, it's better, man, when she just leaves me the fuck alone and I can have my peace. Maybe that's what it is.
I think you better call.
Yeah, that's wild. The thing is, man, it's like, I think women can get away with saying like, yeah, I've been cheating and whatever, and it's just like socially acceptable. You're like, well, if he's not treating you right, then yeah, he deserves it. And just like, no, dude, it's like, I don't understand why people would want to like big up another person for cheating in their marriage, man. It's just like, dude, that's greasy, dude. Hold on. So this is Mr. Coach Greg Adams. This is a guy that I have only seen a few things from him, but he says this. Wait, hold on. What did you just write? He says, men deserve less. Okay, so this is like this is the opposition to Myron's idea of women deserving less. Men deserve less. CGA Cooks, the average Manosphere viewer. At this point, I think I'm an average Manosphere. I think I've been demotivated or deranked down to average Manosphere viewer. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. Gen Z dating is cooked. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, if it's any evidence from like what Sonic was, me and him were discussing over the last 2 live streams, it just seems that the fear of rejection and the social anxiety of, you know, wanting to fit in and wanting to come off as, I guess, a catch or something, it's just so much pressure. Okay, you got to have your dating profile on check. You got to have, you know, your fitness on check, your looks maxing and all that stuff. And it just seems that people are focusing on the wrong areas. You know, like, you understand that you don't have to be this like 6-foot chiseled god, you know, like you can literally be a guy that has a good down-to-earth personality, a guy that is funny, that's charismatic, that, you know, I don't know, cares to talk to people and cares to, like, you know, maybe focus on themselves and their career and everything, but also has, you know, goals and stuff going for them. I think people put too much stock in like trying to keep up with other people. It's like, well, this guy sleeps with a lot of women, I gotta get my piece too. It's like, well, you know, in due time. You know, I try to tell people, like, look, you're not going to feel successful in life unless you're doing things that you feel is makes you feel like you're actually accomplishing something. If you're constantly trying to like compare yourself to others in terms of like money, power, relationships, all this stuff, yeah, dude, it's like you'll never keep up, you know, and even the stuff that you got, you'll feel is never good enough. So you gotta like kind of just go your own path, man. Do things your way, and you'll find that's a lot more satisfying when you don't focus on everybody else's like progress, you know, because we all started at different points here, and success looks different to a lot of different people. But you know, Exo Charles, Gen Z dating is cooked. You know, it may be, you know, but who's to say that you can't make the change in yourself, you know, and not yourself, but, you know, in general, make the change in yourself and take the approach of, okay, what do I have to offer another person? You know, am I a clean person? Am I a person who, you know, is responsible? Am I a person who, you know, works hard, that is willing to, you know, provide? You know, and I'm not saying like you got to make like 6 figures, 7 figures, you know, like, do I have goals in life? You know, do I have aspirations in life? You know, you might still just be this man child that is just all about pleasure and, you know, playing games and stuff like that. But I mean, at some point, you got to understand like what makes you happy. You know, do you want to have a family? Do you want to have a legacy? Do you want to, or do you want to just, you know, be on your own time and not be, you know, be kind of like jet setting and just kind of do whatever you want, man. It's like, look, if it makes you happy to go out in the world and accomplish things and go out and just, you know, live your life for yourself, hey man, that's your path. I'm not here to tell you that you shouldn't do it. I actually think if you want to do that, I think you should do that. But then, you know, if you get to this point where you're like, man, I feel like I've accomplished so much, I would really like to just kind of settle down, have a nice wife, you know, and just enjoy the what's the word? The fruits of my labor, you know, all your hard work. I mean, you might be like, you know, you might have a lot of money stacked up, you know, but it's like you got all this money, but you got nothing to do with it. You know, you're just saving. And, you know, I think you realize that after you accumulate so much money, money has no value after a while. You know, you're just like, look, man. And that's the thing, like money comes, money goes, but it, you know, it can always you can always make more, you know? So it's like, you can be generous with your money. That stuff usually fulfills people. You know, there's a lot of rich people or, you know, people that are wealthy, they will give to charities. And that's how it, you know, it kind of gives a little something back, you know? And then you got people that are like, they're like, dude, money is just something that I just constantly focus on. And I don't really care about nothing else. You know, I don't want to have kids. I don't want a wife because a wife is just a liability and all this. It's like, look, if that's what you think, if that's what you want to do, man. I'm not here to tell you you are wrong. I will say, just find happiness, man. Find happiness in however you seem fit. Because guess what? I'll say it again. This life is short. Okay, so sometimes you just need to kind of know what your goals are. If it's to be married after a certain age, because you know, after a certain age, man, like, finding a relationship is pretty fucking hard, man. And some people, I've spoken to a lot of people lately that are just like, dude, people who have been married and like, I don't ever want to get married again. And there's people that have never been married and they're like, yeah, you know, I think I'd like to try that, but I'm getting up there, you know. But I think, as you guys know, man, guys have a little bit more time. We have a little bit more time. That's kind of the good thing about being a man, is that time is on our side. But, you know, we got to take care of ourselves. We got to make sure that, you know, we're not bums. You know, we're taking care of our health and taking care of our wealth. So, but let's see. Men deserve less. I really want to see what he has to say to this average Manosphere viewer. Let's see what he's saying.
Today deserve nothing, bro.
Oh shit. That's kind of low. Hold on. Let's see if I can boost this a little bit. Like a fresh clip. Super low. 300. Let's bring it up to 400. Maybe that might help.
Men don't have shit. You've earned nothing. You've done nothing. You ain't got no stripes out here. Niggas ain't got no ribbons. They ain't got no awards. Ninjas, you ain't survived shit out here. All you survived, I mean, you ain't survived the war. You ain't went through the trenches. You ain't earned no money. You haven't built anything. You niggas ain't slayed a dragon. Right? You haven't fought up the corporate ladder. Ninja, you barely the assistant manager at Baskin and Robbins. You jerk off and goon all day. You don't deserve shit. Men don't deserve nothing in today's world. You think the women don't deserve anything? I could agree with it as long as you can say the men of today deserve nothing. The men don't deserve shit either. What the fuck have you accomplished? Nothing. Like, what have you accomplished? Nothing. You haven't been an employee of the month at Jiffy Lube yet. You ain't got no plaques, no rewards. Niggas ain't got no suits. You can't dress up. You ain't got nothing, no apartment. You live with your mama. Nothing. What do you deserve? Zero. You don't deserve a kiss after a date. Nothing. Niggas going to Applebee's 2 for $20 to try to get a kiss as a pussy. You don't deserve shit. What do men deserve? Nothing. If the women deserve nothing of today, the men deserve nothing either. All right, that's my point. You don't deserve shit either. Like, what have you done? What have you done? Nothing. Like, what have you done, nigga? Have you been mentioned positively in any publication ever? Nothing. What have you done, nigga? Ain't got no muscle. You can't grow a patchy beard. Like, you've done shit in life. You're only 22, 27, 30 tops. What have you done? You don't deserve nothing. So if we can swing this conversation, yeah, Velcro wallet. Niggas ain't got no leather belt, no leather shoes, no leather wallets. You've got nothing. You deserve nothing. And until you get something, until you earn something, then you deserve something. Whew.
The only thing I will say about this point of view is it is true. You know, no man and most men out here need to understand that no one is coming to save you. Okay. When I see a young guy that's younger than me out here begging for money, when he's like able-bodied, he's got both legs, both arms, and he's just fucking lazy, bro, it sucks. It's just like, bro, I don't understand how you're probably like 20 years younger than me and you're out here asking for money, bro. It's like, I have no sympathy for you, man. It's like people just don't have the will to take care of themselves. They just want a handout. And I'm sorry, man, but if you're not disabled and you're not like, you just don't have the drive, that's something you gotta pick yourself up, man. You gotta take care of that shit. K5, welcome to the stream, sir. He's talking about a certain type of dude. Yeah, man, he's talking about a guy that's not working, you know, that's trying to hustle out here and you know, for a lack of a better word, just trying to make some money, man, and not really trying to put in an honest day's work, you know? I don't know, man. It's just like they don't. I mean, I've seen it. There's people that are just trying to get famous online so that they don't have to really work a real job. But you guys got to understand, it's like you got to have a lot of skills in order to be successful at this kind of thing. You know, you have to be formulated with it. But some people just want to wake up and be doing it. I think that's what it is. It's like, don't be mad because you haven't made it yet. You know, just keep trying things, you know, teach yourself. You know, if you don't want to go to school and learn a skill or a trade and stuff, then you got to do a lot of research, you know, and you guys know me, man, I'm all about self-learning, being self-taught and sharpening skills and, you know, not acting like I know everything. Okay. If there's something that I want to learn how to do, I'll put in the time to learn it. And if there's something that I mean, everything in this world in terms of like skills, man, if you want to be making some real money, you got to learn a skill. You got to learn a trade, you know? Cook May says, men are lazy and full of excuses these days. Oh, fucking man, that's so true. That is so fucking true, man. It's like, if they're not getting the play with women, man, they're just like, women are their problem, you know? Or if they're like, you know, nobody's hiring. Well, dude, are you applying? Are you applying yourself? You know, the thing is, man, there's a lot of certifications you can get online and then put that on your resume. You know, and that's another thing, man. People they have so many distractions, you know. I was talking to this one guy that was telling me about his, he couldn't find a job He said that, you know, nobody was out here hiring and everything. But he's like, yeah, I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, man, so I can just like, you know, start streaming and everything. And I was like, bro, I stream. I was like, but I don't make any money. It's like, you got to want to do it for other reasons other than money. Like if you want to like grow a community of like-minded people and stuff like that, it's like, you got to kind of figure out what your voice is. I was like, you know, what do you want to talk about? He's like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what I want to talk about. I'm like, what are you interested in? And he's like, I mean, I like smoking and I like 2K. I was like, you know what's crazy enough, man? You might find an audience that would probably like to hang out and listen to a person that's high. I don't know. I'm so out of touch. I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know if someone would want to listen to the ramblings of a high guy that was talking about 2K. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. I kind of feel like there's an audience for everybody. Doesn't have to be like a wide audience, but I was like, is that it, man? Like, you don't have, it's like, what did you used to do? He's like, man, I worked at a lot of fast food places. I was like, oh, like where? He's like, I worked at Whataburger, Wendy's, McDonald's, like just a bunch of burger joints. And I was like, okay, well, maybe if you were to start a YouTube channel, you could probably talk about like working in the fast food industry for people that have never worked fast food. Cause I can honestly say I've never worked fast food. And I might find that interesting if you probably had some crazy stories or something like that. That might be something. And he's like, no, man, I don't want to talk about that. It's like, okay. Like, I was trying to help him out, you know, but then at the same time, it's just like, okay. I mean, the thing is, man, it's like if you need help, you kind of have to be open to any type of suggestion. And, you know, don't let anybody tell you what your content needs to be. But whatever it is, man, it's like make it interesting for someone to listen to. I don't know. I'm kind of stumbling on my words right now. Talking about
It's a lot of millionaires. A millionaire buys you 1/3 of.
Hold on. Master Pickup Legend has completely lost his mind, as they all have, you know, all the way from mystery to all. There's a whole group of them, whatever. But a lot of the pickup artists are now single men and lonely because, yeah, dude, they had a lot of sex, but they didn't have any lasting relationships, man, because they were all about starting a relationship in the interaction. But as far as maintaining it, no, they were always on to the next one. And it's a vicious cycle. So, you know, that's another path men need to decide in life. You know, do you want to go out here and date women with intention, or are you just trying to smash as many women as possible? You know, it's like you got the choice in life, and you know, one choice will lead you towards one path and another one will lead you towards destruction. You guys make the choice on which one you feel is right. So let's see, Mr. Grandma Tomasi, let's see what this man has to say.
You said yesterday.
Oh shit, that's fucking loud as fuck. Let's turn this down a little bit. Let's turn it back to 300, because 300 seems to be the sweet spot for Reddit, at least. Let's save this shit. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Sound like he had his mic inside of his throat.
You said yesterday that women are the most important thing in the world. More than money.
More than money.
More than money. Yes. Right. Okay. Explain what you said at MOA.
Well, a gentleman said that he has to wake up at 6 a.m. and it's going to get in the way of his gaming. What should he do? Mm-hmm. I said, quit your job. Mm-hmm. You know, be entrepreneurial instead. Anyway, don't work for anyone. Work with people, not for people. Mm-hmm. If it gets in the way of you meeting a girl, quit your job. It's in the way of that which is more important. Mm-hmm. Women are more important than money. Mm-hmm.
But without money, you won't have women, though. So that doesn't make any damn sense. What the hell? If you don't have money, any woman that comes around that figures out that you don't have money and you're just gonna be kind of like, I don't know, hey, let's go for a walk, and you can buy your own drinks, I don't think she's gonna be lasting very long. What the hell?
Yeah.
Is that controversial?
It's gonna be way controversial, right. But like, qualifying that, like, if that, I think what's funny is like for the amount of people who want to say, you know, chase excellence and don't chase women, it's like because they think that by chasing excellence then the women are going to come.
It doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. You know, it's the guy who says, as soon as I make my first million, then all the women are going to come. Women don't care that you're one more millionaire. There's a lot of millionaires. A millionaire buys you 1/3 of a nice house. You know, it just gets you started.
Sheesh. I don't know if this guy is black pilled or what, man, but well, not, he's definitely not black pilled if he's saying women are more important than money. But I guess the sole pursuit of money, you know, like it's one of those pursuits that it just seems like once you have a certain amount, your brain is like telling you, no, I need to have more, and it's never enough. Okay, it's like the whole Walter White syndrome. You know, as soon as you make some money, you feel like, you know, you can be making more money, and it's just like it's a vicious cycle, man. So I kind of will take a little bit of what he's saying with a grain of salt and say that, yeah, money at the end of the day shouldn't be your sole purpose, but you should still have it because it does offer security. Okay, you can still have a home, you can still, you know, have the lights on, hot running water and all that stuff, the comforts, the necessities, you know, food in the fridge. But this whole thing about, you know, quit your job because it's getting in the way of a woman, I can't subscribe to that, man. That's wild. K5 says, how can you be an entrepreneur without skills or ideas? What the fuck is Black Pill? Hold on, I have Google. Well, yeah, if you're gonna Google it, then yeah. But no, that's a good point. How can you be an entrepreneur without skills or ideas? Yeah, I mean, it just seems like you gotta have to be a jack of all trades and just be the kind of guy to. He's pushing the idea of working with people and not working for someone. You know, being independent. I think, I mean, yeah, but the thing is, you got to find your skill set. You know, what are you good at? What can you add to the world and provide to people that will still, that will create value? You know, you got to have ideas, and it just seems like people got to figure this shit out, man. Oh, Jesus. Walter is cooked. This is the most current, I guess, woman escort he's probably paid for. Let's take a look here. So, all right, let's see what this is all about here. Let's see what the people are saying. How much does she cost? Probably. I don't know. Cooked a sawdoll looking boy queen or what? All paid for. Yep, that sounds about right. Showing everything, but her face is in this. Showing everything, but her face in this. We know why. Absolutely. Got to keep that. You can advertise the body, but don't advertise the face, because then, you know, you cut off all potential future prospects. His Moroccan bimbo. The only women who find it socially acceptable to be seen with Walt in public are 40-year-old hookers. Damn. This looks AI generated. That's funny. Walter is cooked. If he ever loses money, yeah, he is cooked because he's nothing without his money. What's sadder is that he probably needs to continue this lavish lifestyle for this girl to even stay with him. That's true. It's damn true, man. That's the thing, man. It's like, if you focus on women that only want to be with you for your money, or if you lead with your wallet, like Fresh does, yeah, you're gonna definitely attract the type of girls that are gonna only stick around when you have money, man. Let's see, how long will Myron go on today before cutting off the YouTube stream? Let's see what this one's all about. Let's see. Let's go back.
All right, this Lucas guy said this man really caved twice. LOL. All right, bro. YouTube stream's going down. You niggas think that this is a fucking game?
Hold on.
YouTube stream's going down. Fuck y'all niggas.
Hold on. That's a little low. I don't know what's going on today with Reddit, man. Or, I don't know, some of these videos are not really, not good videos, or in terms of audio. Let's see. Let's see if that's better.
All right, this Lucas guy said this man really caved twice. LOL. All right, bro.
Who's he talking about? Who caved? Is you're talking about Myron caving, or are they talking about this gentleman? I forgot his name. What's his name, guys? Tucker Carlson. That's his name.
YouTube stream's going down. You niggas think that this is a fucking game? YouTube stream's going down. Fuck y'all niggas, bro. Gonna end the YouTube stream right now. Everybody come on over to OSS. These guys think it's funny, bro.
Come over to the echo chamber.
All right. I guess I gotta fucking teach guys a lesson now. I gotta teach people a lesson. We're gonna go ahead and continue this breakdown on OSS only, bro. We're gonna do this on OSS only. I'm gonna cut the show. So come on over, guys. I'm going OSS only. Rock with the niggas that support the mission. Plus, I'll be able to fully say what I want to say anyway.
You know, it's all a formula, okay? Like, if you want to hear what you gotta say, you gotta pay, whatever. And it's just like, you're creating like some false value that, okay, if I don't want to miss out, so let me give this guy a couple bucks and join his little cost or whatever. Oh man, it's all a ploy, man.
And then be the best queen that ever.
This is the last thing I think I saw. Timothy calls it quits. Said he's going to settle down with an AI girlfriend. How times have changed. A few weeks ago, he was simping for the sisters. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Like a couple seconds long.
Yeah, we talked about this too. Yeah. I see what you mean.
And then at the end of the day, I would have a robot queen that respect me, and I program her to shut up, put the computer chip, and then be the best queen that I ever be, and make human race be like, wow, why is this beautiful queen listen to this dude? That's the new generation.
No, well,
China is
it's already happening. It's already happening.
Okay, so I guess he's done with real women and he wants to hop on the robot train. Let's see, Subcamp, I was hoping we could have a conversation, man. Hopefully next time. Oh, dude, you want to jump on, bro? You want to jump on the stream, dude? Absolutely. Hopefully next time, dude. You can totally, dude. I think I said it earlier, man. Anybody that wants to join the stream, I can open up the Discord, man, and we can all jump on stream if you want, man. I have no problem with that. Cook May says, "What's OSS?" That's like his secret society thing. Because I think it's like his O/Army, which, you know, O/ is basically like the O is a person. We're supposed to represent like the head, and the slash is like the Hitler salute. So that's what that's all about, at least from what I understand. But yeah, dude, if any of the hustlers want to come on and be like a part of the show, dude, I will totally bring you guys on. I have no problem with that. And we can just chop it up. K5 AI girlfriend. Is this where all these was it Clanker vids are coming from? Yes, dude. Apparently, they're gunning for the P-Star industry to just kind of put them out of work, man, because these AI girlfriends, and you know, the AI is it's the new wave, man. It's like they can crank out videos and just endlessly, you know, you can just use AI to create the AI video. So it's like a machine that just prints money, man. And there's people that freaking like it. I don't get it, bro. It's crazy. Hold on, let me do this real quick. You guys know that all you got to do, hold on, let me close this down for a second. That there. Anybody that wants to join the Discord, I will totally join the Discord, and you guys can join in. We can do like a little chat anytime, man. Let me do this real quick. And Cabos, I don't know if you're on Discord, but absolutely. So yeah, join the Discord, and I can open up anything if you guys want to. If all the hustlers want to join in, Coke Benny, who else? There's K5. If you want to join, I'm more than happy to have you guys on, and we can just chop it up and just chill. I'm cool with that. I can have it up to, I think, 6 people. So, what's the Discord? Here, if you guys, if you look in the description of the video, the link is right there, so you can join that. It's Camp Hustles HQ. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll invite people. Let me copy that. I will put that in the chat for you guys. So that's the Discord there. You guys join the Discord, and if you want, we can totally have a conversation. And if you guys have any questions that you'd like me to answer live, I can do that for you as well. So I have no problem with that. K5 came back. He says, AI vids. Back in my day, we had Maya Mason and Lucy Lee. Bro, they're all getting replaced, man. And you know what? It's not just the P-star industry. It's going to be real movies too, man. I mean, there are already actors that have already signed over their AI likeness so that they can continue making movies for future generations to support their family long after they're gone. This is something that they've already had in place. So I'm pretty sure Carrie Fisher is one of the actors that has signed over her likeness. Samuel L. Jackson has signed over his likeness. I mean, he's already in everything, but I mean, he's going to be in everything after we're dead too. I think all they have to do is basically, they already have their voice. They have to just basically say like 2 or 3 lines, and then they can just AI the rest of it. They just have to get the tonation of their voice. They can have it. They can have them shouting a sentence, saying it very softly, and then you have a full range of like a person's complete vocal vocabulary, and you can have them saying whatever you want. So, and yeah, I mean, when you think about it, if you're a Hollywood actor, it just kind of makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, actually, if that's something you want to do. But then there's some people that are just like, no, I'm a pure actor. You know, like all the work that gets put out, I want to have something to do with it. I don't want to be long gone, and then somebody's just like puppeteering me with like their hand up my crotch. You know, which, you know, that point of view makes sense too. Hold on, where is? Oh, okay. So wait, you joined? Who joined? Somebody just joined? Kavos. Nice. Hold on. Welcome. All right. If you want to do this, do you guys would you like to do this? The conversation. What I'll do, I'll open it up to like 6 people. Discord name is Shrine. Okay, I was like, your name kind of cut off. It just said S. So I'm like, I don't know who this is, but that's you. Cool. Nice. All right, let's. Okay, I think I'm connected in voice. Let me see. So if you guys want, I don't know, get this thing off my screen. I'm connected in Uniform. Uniform is like a 6-person one. Anybody that wants to join, go ahead and join right now. Actually, let me do this real quick. Let me do the. Let me invite friends. Shrine. I'll send it to you. Oh wait, no. Actually, let me just do this. I'll copy the link and I'll send the link to you, and then you can just join it. I'll message you. Paste it. There you go. If you want to join the voice chat, you can. And then I can, let's see. So I sent it to you.
Hello.
What's up? What's up, Kavos? How are you, sir?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Can you guys hear Kavos in the chat? Let me know if you can hear me. Or if you can hear him. If not, I might have to make some changes because sometimes it doesn't work, but hold on. 1 second. Get you on screen. Close this out. Yeah, bro, how you doing, man?
Doing good, bro.
So,
Doing good.
what would you? I appreciate you, joining the Discord finally. I mean, you've been a hustler for a while, but now you're part of the inner circle. So, welcome. So, what do you want to talk about, man? Let's chop it up. What you got?
Not much, man. Just, dude, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, man. You know, I've been, seeing your content, and I don't know, man. It's your stuff's very entertaining, and I don't even know what to say. I just wanted to talk, man.
Hey, man, this is just a hangout, man, and I really I appreciate all of the support from all of the hustlers, you know, and for you guys rocking with me, you know, through thick and thin, through all the different content that I was going through and putting out and stuff. You guys were always the first. I mean, Kavos, you were there when you were one of the first to hear me do the live reading of why Myron deserves fresh. So I'll never forget that, man. You've been an awesome supporter, and I appreciate you. And, you know, all the other hustlers, Exo Charles, feel free to, I know Exo Charles is already part of the Discord. Join the chat if you want. K5, I know you're part of the Discord as well, so hop in, man. We don't have to type anymore. We can just talk to each other. I've been telling you guys, this is what I've been trying to do for a while, is get everybody that is like a hustler in so we can just chill and talk, man, because I mean, it's great. It's great that you guys take the time, man. It really is.
There was actually something I did want to talk about, if it's all right with you.
Let's go. What you got, bro?
Yeah. So like your debate with Sonic.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, I just want to say something, okay? So there were some things that Sonic said that I kind of agree with. I don't agree with everything he said, obviously, but like there are some things where I was like, you know what? It does kind of make sense.
Okay. Would you mind elaborating on the points that you agree with?
Sure. So like, I mean, I said this on the last debate you had. Well, you were doing like a whole thing. You were talking to somebody and then he joined like towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of commented it and I was like, oh, you know, I agree with Sonic when it comes to like women approaching, but not so much with like the whole
proposal. I remember you said that. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think there's bits and pieces of what Sonic said that is relatable. I think because Sonic is a single guy out here, you know, he's had, you know, a little bit more recent experience in terms of like talking to women and everything, but then he said he didn't have any dating experience, and then he also said that he used to be a womanizer, or that he was almost a womanizer. But I was like, how like, I don't know if you saw the short that I made with him. He literally said that like 2 sentences in front of each other. He's like, yeah, you know, I don't have any dating experience. I went on like one date and I was almost a womanizer, but then I decided that wasn't for me. I was like, what? Like, how? I would think if you were a womanizer, you would have been on a lot of dates and have a lot of experience.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, with the whole like women approaching thing, I don't know. I feel like he didn't really make enough good points for that, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. It's
you
just,
kind of think he was
like,
playing a character, maybe? Like he was trying to be like the heel again and just try to get reactions out of people?
I don't know, honestly, bro. But
it just seems like he was saying some outlandish stuff and maybe trying to, like, I don't know, trigger the audience a little bit, maybe challenge their ideas, because I think that was kind of like the point all along, you know? Maybe say some stuff to like get the crowd going, but like, I was like, dude, you can't believe this stuff. You know, you can't think that if a woman proposes to you, you're automatically going to say yes and all this stuff, which I don't think I'm not saying that's his position. I hope if you're listening, feel free to come on and debate and stuff like that. I don't want you to think I'm talking greasy about you. I'm not talking greasy. I'm just stating what happened. All right. I'm reading the notes from the meeting before, is that if a woman proposes to you and you don't really feel her, you know, you don't really like, you're not feeling her like the way she feels you, it's like, it's kind of easy to me to make that decision. Like, it's not gonna go anywhere, right? We have to be the ones to make that choice. We have to be the ones to like kind of guide and control the relationship and choose who is marriage material. Okay, if a woman wants to sleep with someone, she's gonna sleep with someone, but she has to make that choice. You know, we can't just take it. And I'm not the type of guy to be like, hey, just take whatever you want, you know, from women and stuff. No, like, be a decent human being. You know, like I'm not, you know. Yeah, go out here and conquer the world and stuff like that, but like, know your limits, you know? But I do think that there are some tried and true methods that have always worked. And, you know, if you can make somebody laugh, it's very disarming, you know. But then you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself, and you don't have to care as much if the interaction doesn't go the way you want it. You know, you have to feel like you could step away and you're not really losing anything. But it just seems like, I don't know, maybe, and I'm just spitballing theories, all right? It might be that there might have been someone that Sonic was like interested in. She probably found her really attractive, and it didn't work out the way he thought it would. You know, like kind of the story he said with the woman he met in the library or whatever. It just seemed like, yeah, like he was attracted to her, but then once he did a little bit more talking, a little bit more conversing and stuff, he realized that she had some other motives. So, I mean, what do you do? I mean, could you maybe pull the chute, exit, and be like, yeah, this is what he did? Or I don't know, he kind of did a little extra too. He kind of recorded her and all this stuff like that. I was like, I don't know, he started to lose me a little bit when he said that he recorded her so that he could. Yeah, dude, he admitted all of that. He recorded the whole thing, and I was like, what? Yeah, it's all on the stream, dude. Well, I was like, taking a little too far.
Like,
yeah,
he did say that a lot of things that he was saying was because he was trying to like entertain the stream and stuff. So you're probably right. He was just saying things to like get a reaction and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I just think like when it comes to like the whole women approaching thing, because like the thing is like I've experienced that before. You know, like I've been out and about and I've had girls approach me, and I don't know. I never really thought anything like bad about it, if that makes sense. Like I didn't think there was anything in the back of my mind like, okay, something's up here, you know, maybe she's just doing this because her friends dared her or whatever, right? It's like I knew from our conversation that she was into me, and I don't know, it obviously as a man, right, you would feel a lot better and maybe even gain more confidence just approaching women on your own. But I do think like having a girl approach you, I don't know, I like to obviously like, okay, I'm gonna bring up something from Fresh and Fit.
Go ahead.
But yeah, like Myron has said that like you should be in a position where like the girls come to you. You know what I mean?
Right. Like they see the value in you, so they're attracted to you, so they try to, yeah, they come to you. Yeah. I mean, I mean, if you're like the woman's cup of tea, which, you know, that it could have been very possible that the woman found you attractive and, you know, maybe she didn't want it to slip away. I'm not saying that these things don't happen, but what I'm saying is don't let the woman be the one proposing to you. You know, the end result is still the same in terms of like, no, you have to be the controller of the relationship and be in the driver's seat rather than just being this person that is just completely hands-free. You're just gonna let her take the wheel, make all the big decisions, and just be along for the ride. I'm just don't do that, you know.
Right.
But if she makes if she makes the initial contact and she's like, you know, she's interested in you, hey man, let it blossom from that, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can decide whether or not she's like, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And you know, if the girl is attractive to you, you know, I mean, I don't see any problem with that, but it's when like when you don't really feel her as much, but then you take it anyway, because it's like some people have the idea that guys will just take whatever, and in a way, for some people that is true. They will take whatever comes along because it's like, you know, it's not like women are approaching men in mass. Okay, like if it happens, it's like, you know, it's like a unicorn. You know, like it's like, hey man, this woman's attractive and she's into me and she's not an escort or, you know, a hooker. You know.
Yeah.
But
can I ask you a question, bro?
Yeah, of course.
What got you into Fresh and Fit? Or like, how did you find them out? Like, you know.
So I found them out through Kevin Samuels. I used to listen to Kevin Samuels just at work because I would work like 10 to like sometimes like 13-hour days, and I usually needed podcasts that would, you know, go for 3 to sometimes 6 hours, or I would just listen to a bunch of podcasts, whatever. And when I listened to Kevin Samuels, he had just done the collaboration with Fresh and Fit.
Okay.
And then when Kevin Samuels died, I noticed that Fresh and Fit, they kind of paid a little bit of tribute to him, but then they also had kind of a falling out and then all this other stuff, whatever. So yeah, I just kind of like, I think after I watched like one video of theirs, I started catching a lot more, because you know how that YouTube algorithm works, whatever. Like you watch one video of somebody, then you get like all of their stuff, So I started catching like clips and everything, and then I noticed, they were doing a lot of, this is back when they were monetized. They were doing a lot of like 2-3 hour streams. So I would just put it on the background. I wouldn't actually watch the show, but I would listen to it, and it was just entertaining, I wouldn't take any advice out of it, because it was just, it didn't really, I don't think it really applied to me. But the just listening to just the questions that they would kind of trap the women in, and like, when they would say like, oh, I want this guy that's like 6 foot tall, makes a lot of money and everything, but then like, okay, so what do you have to offer him? And then it's just like crickets. Like that part would just like make me die laughing and stuff. And but yeah, for the longest time I didn't actually watch the show, I just listened to it, and I just think that over time I started catching more and more like crash outs, kick outs and stuff. And it was just kind of like Jerry Springer, like I watched Jerry Springer back in the day. I don't know if that might be too old for you, whatever, if you've never seen Jerry Springer, but
No, I don't know.
You have?
Yeah, they would show like reruns when I was a kid.
Okay.
Not like the and stuff, but yeah.
I mean, I used to watch Jerry Springer before they started doing crazier and started ramping things up and, kicking guests out. And there was a fight every show and somebody falling off the couch and Steve had to get in the middle, whatever. Like, I used to remember when like Jerry Springer was like a legitimate talk show. And, they talked about real issues. It almost kind of rivaled like Maury Povich, or like, there was a couple others like Ricky Lake and stuff. Even Ricky Lake started getting a little crazy too. But like, I remember that once Jerry Springer was, once they kind of leaned into that whole aspect of the show, because they knew that the ratings kind of went through the roof, it kind of like is a similar thing that happened with Fresh and Fit. Like as soon as they started kicking people out, they noticed that like there was an audience for that was just kind of waiting for the crash at the NASCAR race, and then when it happens, it's just like, people reacted to it. And, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was kind of ending the conversation a little bit, like it's just like, oh, get the fuck out, you're a woman, nobody wants to listen to you, whatever, you're stupid, shut up, and it just seemed like that was the formula, that they were just like, hey, we can just repeat this. And then, over time, it felt like it was more and more orchestrated.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, I don't know, man. And then, after a while, they just kind of got boring to me, because they kind of like listened to this. It was just like the same thing over and over again, but I mean, so that, and then, it just became fun to me to kind of like make fun of them, or just like watch other people make fun of them. Cause I think that's what happened. I started watching, Duke the Don, who doesn't upload anymore. And he would do like daily streams talking about whatever crazy thing happened on Fresh and Fit, or other people in the Red Pill stuff. And then I started watching other people like John Anthony Lifestyle. I started catching videos with him talking about Fresh and Fit, and then smaller creators as well. And it just seemed like, even people that are like crazy big, like Charlie, whatever, or was it just a few people, people that, are well known, and then they started crossing paths with them, like Ethan Klein, whatever. It just seemed like they were just like hated, like universally, and it was almost kind of like trendy to hate Fresh and Fit. But no, I just found like a lot of stuff that they said, it didn't really apply to like everyday life. It would make sense that if you're surrounded by like OnlyFans girls and, plastic surgery and like just the pressure to, flex and just lead with your wallet and everything like that, of course, you're going to dispense this type of unrealistic values to men to be like, yeah, you got to get your money up, you know, it's the only way. And it's actually easier to pay for box than try to get like an actual girlfriend, because then at least you can get what you want out of a woman and you don't have to like do all the simpy shit. You know, so it's just like, well, what the fuck, dude? It's like, I don't know. Like for me, listening to that as like a married guy, like in a happy, successful marriage and stuff, I was just like, I could see the sludge. I was like, this is sludge, man. But no, and then I saw like young guys on like Reddit and stuff being like, dude, Myron's a king for saying this, man. Like he's based and all this other shit. And yeah, they were following every word he was saying, dude. And I was just like,
yeah, that was me when I first discovered them. Like I was like the biggest Fresh and Fit fan, honestly. Like the crazy thing is that like I discovered Fresh and Fit after I had broken up with my girlfriend, and this was like one of the very first like podcasts that he started. And the crazy thing is that like I was in a really like dark place, you know, and like I was just feeling bad about myself. Like, you know how it is when you break up with your girlfriend
of
or
course.
whatever.
Oh no, of course. Yeah. It's tough. You know, you typically have to, you got to go through a period of time where you are alone. You know, it's almost the length of the relationship plus like a couple months, you know, whatever you were in. So yeah, get back on that horse, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the things that like Myron was saying, you know what he was saying, like all the stuff about how like, you know, you need to get your money on point and all this stuff. And it was just weird, man. Like it just, I don't know what it is. It just like, it made me feel better, if that makes sense. Like it gave me like a sense of hope, I guess. I'm not saying I was like that depressed or anything, but like it just put me in a better place about myself. And like, I don't know, Myron's words were really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, just
kind of like your big bro, kind of like being like, hey man, you're good, bro, you're right.
Exactly, because I didn't, like it's not like my, you know, my dad's great, he's always been there for me, but when it came to like relationships and stuff, he wasn't really the best in terms of like giving advice on that stuff, you know. And like just like listening to Myron, it was like, wow, like it really made me feel like, okay, I shouldn't be just, you know, just putting women on a pedestal and, you know, all this stuff. And like, I was just like the biggest Fresh and Fit fan. And then it's like, I don't know, like I just kept watching them, and then it just got to the point where like you kind of notice like, okay, they're grifters, you know, like they're just saying a bunch of shit. Like I don't know, man, like just hearing Myron talk about all this like racist stuff now, I'm just like, dude, I can't believe I actually used to like look up to this guy, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of embarrassing, actually.
I mean, you get to a point, man, in your online career where you realize that you developed an audience, possibly a toxic audience, whatever, that will hang on your every word. So, and they'll also follow whatever ideology that you have. So if you start talking about the Jews, you know, or you start like saying, you know, the guy with the mustache man had some good points, whatever, you're going to divide your audience, and you're also going to like gain some followers from that, you know. It just seems like he was audience captured, and it just seemed like he's like, I'm going to lean into this, you know. I could possibly become more successful just going this route, you know. And I don't know, it just seemed like once he split off from Fresh and Fit, which, you know, the meat and potatoes of his channel, it used to be like he used to have a lot of a large black audience, but it seemed like he just completely abandoned that for another audience. You know, he's like, I don't need them, man, you know. And it's like his True Color show, you know.
It's kind of weird too that like Fresh is still hanging around him even when he makes all those like racist jokes on the podcast. It's like, it's just so weird, man.
It feels forced. It feels very forced. And dude, I don't the thing is, like, I know Fresh doesn't have an original idea in his body, so like anything that somebody is saying, he's gonna either agree with or like try to say something similar to it, so it never feels like genuine or whatever. Exotra, oh, sorry, hold on. K5 asks, ask Kavos what attracted him to your channel. That's a good question. What? So, okay, how did you find out about me? What did I?
Yeah, so kind of how like you were explaining how like you were pretty much watching all their or like you were watching like hate content, something along those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I stumbled across that video of like your phone call that has
yeah.
like 1 million views or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I saw you in the comments just saying like, oh, like the book's coming soon and stuff. And then I clicked on your channel, and then I wasn't there for like your like live stream when you were reacting to it, but I watched your video of you. I watched the video of your live stream of you going over your phone call.
Oh yeah, the follow-up video, because I felt like since all these people were making videos about the Rumble video, I was like, I gotta jump in on this while at least give the people my point of view, at least of what, because I mean people are gonna interpret my call as whatever, but I think if you guys hear it from me, like you're gonna get a little bit of context that you probably won't get from anybody else. So I was like, I think it's probably important that at least I put my stamp on it. And it was a good idea to do, man, because that's how I met Sonic. That's how I met a few other people from it. So
it was very informative.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. I wanted people to understand that it wasn't coming from a place of hate. It all started off as a joke, and I even explained in the origin that the whole thing about why Myron deserves Fresh was just a comment that I left on somebody's video because the guy was saying how Fresh was useless, and I was like, dude, Fresh, people say this all the time. I think he needs to take some action and just write a book on why he's needed. But then like, I don't know, like the why Myron deserves Fresh was like too good of a thing to just kind of like let die. So then it ended up going up on Reddit, and then I was like, I just got this creative mode, because I get in these modes sometimes where I'm like, I have a full concept in my head of what something will be, and I was like, dude, I could just like execute the idea of it and just like tease it and stuff, and then people just see what the reaction is. And yeah, I got a lot of positive reactions out of it. So I was just like, well, shit. And then people were like, dude, where's this book? I'll fucking buy it. And I was like, I would never want you to pay for anything like something like this, because this is just something to laugh at. And definitely I didn't want anybody to get the wrong idea that I was just doing this for money. No, I mean, the thing is, man, I like to make people laugh. And if I can execute an idea and do something that is that makes a little bit of an impact, maybe even solves a problem, because right now we're still dealing with the issue of Fresh. Hey, what's up, dude? This is the power of friendship. How are you?
What's up, Sonic?
No, I'm not Sonic. I'm actually insulted that you called me that.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry, my bad.
You looked at the icon and you thought he was Sonic because of the blue hair?
No, I sounded like him for a second. I was like,
no,
oh
it's
shit.
Benny.
Coke Benny, what's up, sir?
What's up, bro?
How are you, man? Finally, we get to hear your voice. This is the man behind the amazing edits, and I'm so glad to finally have you on the stream. Welcome to the stream, Coke Benny. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. The pleasure's mine.
Hey, man, you've been you've been a day one supporter for the longest, man, and I appreciate you gracing us with your presence.
Well, thank you for having me, Camp.
Yes, sir.
It's an honor to finally talk to you.
Yeah, man. Dude, hey, if we can make this a weekly thing, I mean, you're in my chat every week, man. I don't see why not, man.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, man. Exo Charles, man, you might as well jump in here too, man. There's enough space in the pool, man. Just jump in, brother. But Exo Charles says, I found about Fresh and Fit because of Andrew Tate. Now, I do know a lot of people knew about Fresh and Fit because Andrew Tate was blowing up and everything, and when they had him on the show, that did record numbers, just like when they had Kevin Samuels on there. So that makes sense. And then Exo Charles says, I agree with Kavos. I was also a diehard fan in 2022. It's embarrassing to admit that. Well, think of it as like therapy, okay? We're all trying to like exercise our demons and get it all out so we don't have to carry that pressure anymore, okay? I mean, Coke Benny, how did you come on to Fresh and Fit? How did you get it? How did you know about them? I think you were part of the Reddit.
Well,
you were part of the Reddit for a while, I think.
I actually discovered them two ways. Actually, the first one was through Kevin Samuels, like you.
Okay.
And Also through Andrew Tate.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, dude. I mean, they that whole thing of them like crossing paths and everything, that was all strategic, and it definitely made all of them massively popular and household names. So
Right.
yeah, it made sense, man.
Honestly, and I'm kind of on the same boat with Cabos. I did used to be a hardcore supporter of them. I used to agree with a lot of their talking points, but like just throughout time, I just started to lose. Like I started disagreeing with them a lot more, and they just started to contradict themselves. And yeah,
Dude. It just seemed like whenever anybody, whether it was a man or a woman, like came at them for any type of conflict, it was always like more entertaining than the stuff that they would try to put out to try to help men. You know, like the hater calls when they started doing like the call-in Fridays, and like people just started like, dude, I love that shit, man. I lived for Friday call-in shows because like when people, they would always like roast Fresh, or it would be really rare when somebody would roast Myron, but like it was entertaining, man. I loved watching people and then watching these guys squirm, man. It was just great, dude. So
Yeah, it sucks that they stopped doing it.
yeah, dude, they knew that was something that the audience wanted, and they're like,
they
no,
couldn't
man,
take it anymore.
it sucks, bro. It's like, come on, man. It's like, have a little humility and, you know, give the people what they want. You know, have a thick skin. You got to have a thick skin on this thing. And I welcome anybody, any hater that comes across my video to jump in the chat. Hell, jump in the Discord. And, you know, just, dude, I can take it. Okay? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm one of those kind of guys that if you have something greasy to say about me, I can probably think of like 10 things probably better to make your greasy comment better. You know, because for me, I don't know if you guys remember like snapping at people, like snapping in school, like your mom was so fat or whatever like that. Like I used to do that in school, and that shit was fucking great. That was before the internet. That was before, you know, people roasting each other. I came up doing that. You know, I had a whole book of the snaps and stuff, and I read it from cover to cover, and like that's how I made my real friends. You know, the ones that like could take shit and then dish it right back. You know, people that would always leave like butt hurt and everything, like have their feelings hurt. I'm just like, okay, well, I guess it wasn't really meant to be. You know, in terms of friendship. But yeah.
So you don't watch them anymore, Cam?
Dude, I haven't caught any like shows from them in a long time. Like I told you, like most of the stuff I catch is on Reddit. That's it.
I see.
Yeah. So if they do something that's crazy enough, like I think I caught the clip of the big girl that was on Walter's podcast. She basically got up and like started like throwing some microphone equipment, whatever. That was like going around everybody's feeds for a while. People were talking about it. I didn't actually watch that episode, but that's like the last thing that I remember like seeing about Fresh and Fit. So
that one dude, I think Khalil something, like he's the fresh hater.
The fresh hater, Khalil Zaween, dude. I feature him on the channel all the time, dude. He's great.
Yeah, he made a video on that. It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
Speaking of haters, speaking of haters, have you heard from your #1 fan, VillaTube?
I have not, dude. I wonder how that guy's doing. Is he still working in the vape shop? You know, how you doing? What does he say? I have not heard from him, man. I think he kind of got bored with me. I think he realized that I wasn't going to acknowledge him, and then, or I was just going to move on and, you know, do other stuff and stop shining the light on him and stuff. I told him, I was like, dude, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast, man. And we can sort out our differences, and, you know, you can call me a 40-year-old gamer with a wife and kids, man, if that makes you feel any better, man. I mean, he already said, he was like, look, man, he's like, this guy, if I saw him on the side of the road and he needed help, I would just keep driving. I'm like, that's fine, dude. I'd probably try to find a rock to throw at your window as you're driving by, bro. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like, dude, the thing is, I didn't understand why well, I do understand why he hated me, because I was hating on his Fresh and Fit guys, you know, like,
Precious is,
dude, yeah, man. And he was just like, yo, if Fresh has 1,000 bodies, I'm just gonna be like, dude, how'd you do that? I'm like, well, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Like, Fresh has already admitted that he did that for clicks, and that it wasn't true. I mean, you see how awkward he is with women, and to be on a podcast where you're trying to teach men how to like, be around women and stuff like that. It's like he's still socially awkward, bro. So it's like, I don't know, that shit is not believable. Exo Charles says, ask Kavos, what did he think about Fresh when he started watching the show? Ooh, that's a good one. What did you think about Fresh when you started watching the show? Did you think that he was valuable to the show?
Honestly, I didn't really think much about him. When I watched the show, it was mostly Myron. So it's like, I don't know. I really didn't pay attention to Fresh. It was kind of like what you said in the call-in. You called him like a bump on a log or something. It was,
yeah.
Literally, that's what it felt like. Like, I just did not notice him that much, really.
Well, like I think I told you guys, like I listened to Fresh and Fit rather than actually watching them in the beginning. So I always thought the idea of Fresh and Fit was just Myron. Myron was Fresh and Fit, and like, yeah, he had guests on and stuff like that. So I always thought like any other person that was speaking, would just be like a guest. I thought Myron was just like the one voice on the podcast, but then like I think I caught like an actual image of the show, and I was like, oh, there's another guy there. Like that's been there the whole time, and
yeah, like
it's kind of wild.
As more time went on, like I just noticed how useless he was, honestly. And like the more he didn't say much, but when he would say something, it felt like he was saying a lot. And if that makes sense, like
no, yeah, like he wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And whatever he would say, it was just so like unintelligent. I don't know, man. He's very cringy.
Well, I noticed it. I noticed that he started contributing, and I'm putting that in air quotes right now, that he started contributing more after I fucking did that phone call, in horrible ways, man, in terms of like doing his own analogies, doing like his own player stories, I guess, just kind of like, let the audience know, like, no, I get bitches, and then like, just trying to, I guess, increase his credibility. But it'll always fall flat on his face. It's like, it just didn't sound believable. I'm like, dude, you're trying too hard, and I don't know, man. I think real people, man, they don't have to impress people, man. Like, they can just be themselves, and that's impressive, but when it's like, you gotta like, it's kind of like when with the new cars and stuff, like whenever he does like those blogs and stuff where he's like, showing off a car or being on a boat and stuff like that, or spending money on a woman and stuff like that. It just seems like, yeah, you're doing this because you have this image that you want to uphold, and even though it's fake, even though the woman's probably paid for, and even though the Lambo's rented and stuff, it's like, I get it, because people that aren't savvy, that don't know this stuff, they just see it, and they're probably watching it with the sound off because they're just like, you can't stand your fucking voice, so they're just looking at the image and they're like, okay, I want to be like that guy,
Yeah.
But you don't realize that, yeah, man, just like Instagram shows the best parts of ourselves, in video form, yeah, you can just edit out the bad parts, or edit out the part where you actually slip the money under the table, and you're like, thanks so much, I appreciate that for being my girlfriend for the evening. I don't know, man. It's like, it's so easy to fake a lifestyle that, yeah, you're really making it out here when, really, it's like, what skills does he have? I mean, this networking skill where he knows a lot of people because he goes out and stuff. Okay. I mean, people are like, yeah, he's a millionaire. It's like, you're just jealous because he's a millionaire. I'm like, I'm not jealous, bro. I definitely don't want to have his life, man, because I think at the end of the day, he doesn't have like a legacy, he's constantly avoiding that, and it's going to get to a point where he's like, he's not going to have anything. If Myron finally leaves him, he's cooked, bro. Like,
what's unfortunate is that when Fresh and Fit like finally ends, no one's really gonna remember Fresh for like anything intellectual that he's said.
There's no impact.
Like,
no impact whatsoever.
Yeah, it's literally just gonna be Myron.
Right. I can't. I don't know. The only thing I can point to are going to be the controversies that surround Fresh. That's the most memorable stuff. That's it. The Daisy, the Miranda, like all that stuff. The simping with the P stars and all that stuff, paying for box. I can't think of anything that was just like, yeah, Fresh did that.
Yeah, that Colin. What was that guy's name? Eventual Warlord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, and expose them. I think that was the moment where I was like, yeah, these guys are frauds, and they're like, just yeah.
And you see how quickly they try to discredit him by trying to, expose who he was. When I'm like, that's not really a point, Myron, to be like, well, let's look at your Instagram so we can make fun of you. It's like he's calling into your show to just like air out your business, and he just wants you to answer the question, but you guys keep deflecting and making it all about him. And it's just like, well, you wanted haters to call on the show, right? Did you not want a hater to call on the show? So why are you like, I don't know, why are you avoiding his questions? I get it. Myron is a government guy, so he's really good at like not saying anything, and just kind of letting other people talk. But Fresh isn't that smart. He's not that savvy. So yeah, he's gonna slip up a couple times, And he made some concessions too. He was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not a good debater. You got that. But I was just like, there's a lot of other things you're not good at though, too. But I don't know. I think the whole ducking the fight with Preach. It's like, come on now. We knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
you're gonna price yourself out. He made a good argument. He said, you price yourself out so that they wouldn't fight. But they were like, look, I'll fight you for free. And they weren't about it. They were like, no, let's find a parameter that we can set so that we can get some advertisers, we can get it publicly shown and stuff like that. All this stuff that was just like outside of what the real thing was about. They were just like, look, man, you basically, Alvin and Preach were like, look, you got a problem with us. You started saying some greasy stuff about this girl that wasn't even my wife, but you claim to have all the sauce and stuff like that, and then you challenged me to a boxing match, and then you pussy out, and now you convinced your audience that, oh no, they just didn't want to do it, and now they're just like, yeah, dude, we're not gonna fucking fight you, man. What is it? Were we fucking in kindergarten, on the playground or something like that? It's like grown men supposedly with online beef, wanting to just scrap. And I think Myron to this day still likes, the only person I'll fight publicly is Abba and all this shit. I'm just like, dude, are we still keeping this shit alive, man? Like, you gotta let it go at some point, man. This shit's getting ridiculous. So, but yeah, man, I just don't think that they really have, they don't have a plan. They're really just kind of flying by the seat of their supporters. They're die-hard supporters, and I don't see the value in Fresh and Fit anymore. I think I've gotten my fill of them, so it's like I've just kind of moved on to really just listening to like people talk about movies, and I've been listening to a lot of like rap beefs and stuff. Like I was listening to Skepta and Joyner Lucas. They were going back and forth for a little bit. I don't know if you guys listen to rap or not, but they had a good like 2-3 songs, whatever. And now the stuff I'm watching with like Lil Tay, the 9-year-old rapper that busted on the scene. Now, as soon as she turned 18, like,
what do you think about that, man?
Dude, within 3 hours, she made like $1 million or whatever. Like, she posted her stuff at like 12:01. And yeah, dude, I think everybody that subscribed needs to be put on the fucking watch list, bro. Like, what the hell, dude?
The same thing happened with what's her name, Bad Baby.
Bad Baby. Yeah. I remember when the news on that broke. I mean, it just, dude, there's always gonna be creeps online, dude. Anonymous creeps. Okay, that's very important to say. And yeah, it's sad. It's not a good representation of us men, it's just, I don't know, man. It doesn't really reinforce the idea that women should have some more dignity and stuff, because I know there's a lot of people out here that are struggling, people that are trying to figure out ways to make it, whether it's, getting an education, or learning a trade and stuff like that. And women, a lot of women every day are getting convinced that, I just need to show my body, man. If I show my body, then I can make this money. I can have this level of comfort. But it's like, but what, at what cost? You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to have anybody like looking for you or, you know, checking for you, because they're like, dude, I don't need to date you, because all I got to do is just look online. I don't even have to pay for your OnlyFans. I can just look on Reddit and find it, you know? So it's like, there's no, there's no mystery there. And I think that's the problem with a lot of women are actually having to deal with, is that they're starting to realize that, yes, I have the security now. No, I don't have a man, but I have the security of, you know, a house that, you know, and a car that's been paid for through my OnlyFans. Do I have any future prospects? Right now, that's not a big concern, you know, because I'm still young, there's still time, and there's a lot of delusion, you know? Yes, are there simps out there that will be white knights for these girls and possibly take them because they're like, look, I've been a longtime supporter. You know, like I feel like I've paid my way to possibly be a potential suitor. You know, people have that fantasy. They just think that, you know, I've given so much money to. Remember that one guy that gave all that money to Pokimane that ended up being homeless? That happened like a couple of years back, whatever. But yeah, dude, he was like, he thought he was gonna be, you know, a potential for her. But she, I mean, it made the news too. Like the guy went homeless, donated to Pokimane.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's just like, come on, man. It's like we got.
As a man, you should not be donating your money to streamers like that.
No, dude. No, man.
There's been someone like in his life like guiding him to not do that, you know.
There's a lot of guys that, you know, don't have strong male figures in their lives, you know, so they go online and try to search for, you know, or they try to make it on their own and just try to, you know, do whatever they can. But it's not the, they don't really have a path set, man. They don't have somebody to tell them like, bro, you need to freaking stop giving your hard-earned money to this woman that doesn't give a fuck about you. You know, like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's crazy, man. But, you know, oh, hold on. I don't know why I clicked that. I clicked the wrong thing. I think, yeah, I'll never understand. I'll never understand paying for OnlyFans. I'll never understand going to strip clubs and giving women, because that's what it was before OnlyFans, was going to strip clubs and giving your hard-earned money to some stripper, you know, who didn't care about you. She just pretended to care about you. You know, like people were having the freaking parasocial relationship years before OnlyFans was a thing, you know? And yeah, it's been going on for as long as we've been alive. And, you know, the evolution of it is going to be no real girl. It's just going to be an AI girl. You know, and the AI is going to be so good, it's going to respond to anything that you say or type in the chat, whatever, and it will acknowledge you, probably acknowledge you by name, and people will feel connected by that. Dude, I'm reading about people having relationships with Chat GPT. Like, it's not even a fucking thing. It's just like, what the hell?
Was there a guy who deleted himself from like an AI girlfriend or something?
I didn't hear about that. What I heard about was the man that was married having a relationship with ChatGPT, and his wife was not cool with it, and as she should. And then like, instead of like, you know, trying to reassure his wife that, you know, this is just like whatever, he like completely went all in on ChatGPT and left his wife. So I was like, that's kind of wild that he chose ChatGPT over his wife, you know? I'm like, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. It's weird. I can't really explain it. I don't understand the mindset behind it. So
yeah, I'm like with it. I'm worried about what's gonna happen in the future.
I mean, I worry about my kids, man. Like, I'm not really worried about myself. I'm worried about my kids because, you know, I have a daughter and I have a son, and, you know, they're both going to have very separate lives, very, you know, different experiences when it comes to dating. And I'm just, you know, the only thing I can do as a parent is just try to instill morals into them, you know, raise my son to be a good man, a solid man, you know, and then raise my girl to have respect for herself, you know. That's all I can do. Just try to do the best I can. And you know, I mean, I know my role as a father, you know, to always be there for them, but at the same time, you know, I understand that they're as kids, they're gonna have their own path in life too. You know, they're gonna want to strike out on their own and make mistakes and figure things out. So it's I worry for my kids, man, because the way things are so screwed up now, I can only imagine, you know, people are just like, look, I'm just done with human women altogether. You know, like, I just want these AI girlfriends because I can have as many as they want. I want, and they don't get jealous of one another. Shit, they even interact with each other. So it's even better. It's like, that's crazy, man. I can only imagine like people coming out of high school with like threesomes with their AI girlfriends and shit. And they're just like, yeah, man, like, this is the life. I don't have to worry about the nagging and stuff. I just cut them off if I want to. It's like, that's crazy, man. Yeah, but you know, as technology advances, people are going to find ways to consolidate on their, you know, their problems. You know, they're like, look, I just need somebody who gets me, you know, and everybody out here, they're all, you know, talking to their own AI girlfriend. So I got to get my AI girlfriend, you know. People will have that FOMO, that fear of missing out, and they're just like, yeah, I got to jump on the train too. What other options do I have? You know? Can't do the same things my parents did or my grandparents did, you know. There's just nothing like that out here anymore. But I don't know, or I think women might have I don't know, maybe women will go the route too of like the AI boyfriend, maybe, or maybe they'll just all get snatched up by the men that don't conform to this like artificial intimacy. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of hopeful. I'm optimistic. I just think that, you know, there are some things that we don't have to change as men, and there are still going to be women out there that are still holding out for just normal guys, man. Like, you don't have to be like this crazy buff, ultra rich, jet setting player. You know, you just got to be a guy that is a good guy, an honest guy that works hard and has a good head on his shoulders. You know, that's what else could a woman ask for? I mean, yeah, you're gonna find the girls that are gonna want like all the things, the 666 things, but you don't have to settle for that.
Yeah.
You know, you can have some discernment as well. And I don't know, man. I think it, like, I mean, I've told you guys, and I've told, you know, like Sonic and stuff, that, you know, you can have standards as a man. You know, you don't have to just take anything that comes to you. You know, you can say like, look, man, like, I mean, I've said this a long time ago and it came true. I was like, dude, I just want a girl who is beautiful that doesn't think she's beautiful. I know that's like, that's kind of an odd thing to say, but it really is, man. It's like, I want a woman that is humble about herself, that doesn't use her looks to manipulate men. And even if she doesn't think she's beautiful, I want her to be like naturally beautiful, like without makeup and stuff. Without makeup, without filters, without any of that, you know, added stuff. And I was lucky. Man. So I'm not saying it can't happen. I think it can totally happen, but don't go looking for love. You know, just let it happen, man. Let it develop on its own, and you'll find it even when you're not looking for it. Shit, I find shit all the time that I'm not looking for. And I happen to find my wife. So, I mean, that's why I don't even try to be like this guy that knows everything about women and shit. I will just say that this whole thing about, you know, just be yourself and all this, like, well, no, be a better version of yourself. You know, that's all I can really tell you. Be a better version of yourself. Don't be a slob. You know, unless you want to be a slob, you know, and that's more important than anything else. But I think, you know, you want to have good health, you know, you want to have goals and have a drive about yourself, you know, figure out what you want to do in this world and go out for it, man. And take risks. You know, the people that don't take risks, they just live this life, this comfortable life of safety, you know, and they don't have anything crazy happen. They have no stories to tell. It's only when you take risks, man, that you're like, dude, I'm so glad I did that. Because I was so scared in the beginning, but I'm glad I did it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's all I can really say, man, in terms of like advice, bro. It's like, you know, don't be afraid to live your life, bro. And what the worst thing a woman can tell you is, I'm good. You know, like I'm not interested. That's it, man. But this whole, I don't know. Do you agree with Sonic when he was talking about, I know I keep bringing up Sonic, but you know, do you agree with Sonic when he was like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of guys that lash out at women, you know, they reject him and stuff. I'm like, that's a percentage of guys, yeah, they're like highly emotional. I mean,
I think it's a small percentage.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's not every guy. I was like, dude, you're kind of like putting guys down, you know, and be like, guys are like, we're emotional creatures and stuff. Like, not really. Not all of us. Some of us aren't really affected.
I usually hear women saying that, you know, like they tend to like blow it out of proportion and make it seem like there's just like all these guys just lashing out, you know.
Mhm.
So that was interesting hearing that from him. But yeah, I don't agree with him on that.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, come on now. Give us a little credit. I mean, some of us, man, it's like, yeah, it sometimes like when we put a lot of stock in a person that we think is like a good potential and stuff, and then it just doesn't work out. Like, yeah, it does kind of feel like a waste, you know, especially if you maybe like invested some time or effort into it and stuff, and then it just didn't work out. Yeah, that can suck, but you know, it's not the end of the world, man. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we all learn this stuff growing up. We learn it, you know, through our experiences and stuff. And that's what I was saying before about the whole rejection thing. That we as men, we all go through rejection at some point in our lives, and it hurts. The first time it always hurts, but it hurts less the more times it happens, and it gets to a point where it doesn't hurt at all. You can actually, it's like when you're like think of it like this. So you're a comedian, okay? You go up on stage and you get booed off stage, or you just, it's crickets, nobody's laughing, you know? Pretty soon, if you just keep going up on stage or whatever, and you start leaning into the bad crowd, you start lashing out a little bit, because you're just like, well, fuck this crowd. You know, like, if you guys don't find me funny, whatever, then whatever, fuck y'all. And then, you know, people start laughing, and then you realize, you know what, as long as I don't give a fuck, it's all good, you know. And people, they actually have a lot of success when they actually do some crowd work, you know. But it's just like, you gotta kind of not care. It's the same thing with dating, you know. Like, if someone rejects you for whatever reason, you gotta kind of like, okay, understand what, you know, what, if there's something you can help and fix it, that's fine. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. And sometimes if it's out of your hands, then yeah, man, it's just like, don't care, man. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But no, I mean, the last thing I'll say about Sonic is I hope he finds whatever he's looking for. I hope that woman gets on both knees, cups the box, and he says yes, and then we can be like, you know, congratulations, Sonic, man. You she found a good
I
one.
don't think it's that, honestly.
What's that?
I don't think he actually wants that or like believes that women should be proposing. I just don't.
Dude, he made a whole video on it. Did you see it? He called me out. He tagged me in it too.
Was it a recent one?
Yeah, it was. It was after we had our conversation on the stream, whatever. Because he actually clipped the stream and he put it on there. Let's see. Let's go to share my screen. Share the screen. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do this. Let's see. Let's go to share screen. Okay. Let me.
What happened to Coke Benny?
I don't know. I guess he got off. He had something to do, maybe. I'm guessing. Let me Sonic Mindscape. I'm gonna attempt to see if I can get this to work. If it, I mean, it never has, but we'll try. Sonic Mindscape. Let me find it. It was, I hope it's still up. I hope he didn't take it down. Oh yeah. I think women should propose to men. I said it at Camp Hustle 5 days ago. All right, let me see. Let me know if you can hear the audio in this.
All right, so here we are again with our friend.
It's playing right now. Do you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Oh wow! Finally, I finally fucking figured out Watch Together. All right,
Cam
hold on.
Hustle, which, by the way, if you guys want to subscribe to Cam Hustle, you guys are more than welcome to. He is a Saturday night streamer. If you guys want to subscribe to him, I highly encourage you guys.
Oh, hold
He's
on.
pretty entertaining. Talks about Fresh and Fit. Actually, he talks about the entire manosphere, and sometimes he'll talk about some pretty interesting topics that occur throughout the week. Highly encourage you guys to check him out. But the reason why I'm talking about him today is because he made a couple of statements talking about choosing signals and about how men had to pick up on choosing signals. And obviously, as you guys know, I disagree with that. Like, oftentimes choosing signals or signals that women send out to men are they're incredibly ambiguous. You can't really tell them apart.
Can you see the video as well?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect.
So of course I'm going to support that, but first I'm going to allow him to make his statement or his case before we move on with the counter.
Dude, that scrunchie he's wearing is killing me, bro. What a
He wears
design!
a different color.
What a
He
design
wears, like, a
choice,
different
dude.
color.
Yeah, I know, dude. The red one, he was rocking that one for a while. He might have a whole collection of scrunchies, bro. I'm like, bro, you need to release the whole. Now that you're monetized, you can release your own branded scrunchies now, dude. Is that a Happy Meal? He's got a Happy Meal on his desk. I never noticed that. Holy shit, this guy's buying Happy Meals. Okay, all right. Let's keep it going. My bad.
Counter arguments. So
You're good.
Let's take a look. I just want to go ahead and look that up.
To touch on like women approaching men, I think I said this in the last stream that women will do choosing signals. They won't approach us, but they will attract us to make us approach them. So what they will do is make eye contact. They'll touch their hair. They'll look at you, look away. They will, maybe, I don't know, adjust their posture or something like that. So they their breasts are perking up or something like that. Just make themselves noticeable to us. So they will do the inadvertent approaching where they get our attention. We notice them, whether it's across the room or at the end of the bar or something like that, and we go over there because we have received the choosing signals. They look at us and stuff like that, and we maintain eye contact, and then you go over there and you say hello, and it's like something can happen from there. But at the same time, you can go the route of what you said, because what you said was something I said a lot earlier in the stream. This one is that you don't have to go up with a pickup line, or you don't have to go up. You can just say something as easy as, I like your hair today, or you have a really nice smile, or your eyes are so blue, like it's crazy, or something, but you're not coming heavy handed with it. You're just going to say something that is like, that's going to get them to, it's not like something that's commonly said to them. You can say something maybe like, like your ears, the way your ears or something like that. You look like an elf. I wasn't serious about saying that. Don't say that. Okay, well, talking about the ears and shit, because that could completely go south. I think I was just being funny at that point. And I think elves are really cool.
Okay. The point that he's trying to make though is that women will make will either dress up, wear lipstick, perk their breasts, stuff like that to send choosing signals to men. Now, the reason why I have a problem with this is because oftentimes those signals are unbelievably ambiguous. We don't know what's going on in the mind of a woman. And most men unfortunately don't have the ability to read minds, okay? So let me show you guys a video where this woman says that
if there's any time that you want me to pause so you can say something, let me know. But
yeah, for sure.
If this whole thing about like not recognizing choosing signals, I do believe that there is a little bit of an autism spectrum in terms of like not realizing someone is like looking at you or sending you a signal and stuff, and you're just like, well, I didn't see it, or she didn't say anything. It's like women aren't supposed to say anything. They're supposed to kind of like catch our attention, and then we're supposed to kind of like do our duty and go over there and be assertive, But maybe in today's time, people don't want to come off as creeps. Maybe sometimes, most of the time girls are in groups and stuff, and that can be intimidating. I understand that, going up to a group of people and stuff, and maybe possibly getting the group on your side. There are ways to do that, to where you engage a group first, just not as a threat, but as just, I don't know, something fun. But you can say something crazy, whatever. But you're not like coming off as a creep. You're not like trying to isolate right away because she's with her friends, So you got to read the situation. You got to have skills, man. You got to have skills in terms of like reading the room. I know that sounds very general, but you get that through experience, and like I've gotten that experience through working in restaurants for years, working in retail and stuff like that, having to deal with the public. And it's something that once you develop that skill of being able to anticipate a person's like just aura, like you can tell if someone wants you to talk to them or not, if they're having a bad day, to avoid them, so it's like you got to kind of feel these things out. And like I said, keep it nice and light, not too like, you don't want to be too overly committed too, because man, women can smell desperation on you, man, and it's repugnant. They will, yeah, they're just like, I don't want, this guy's thirsty and shit, get this guy some water or get this guy some milk, but it's just like, you definitely don't want to come off desperate, but if you're just like, wow, you could say something nice, and then keep it moving. Because they'll be like, oh, that was really nice. Leave them with a good impression, Leave them like you don't care. Like, I was just, like, wow, then you go, But the thing is, man, I think what happens is that people, they get the courage to go up to a girl or a group of girls and stuff, and then they don't know, like, what to say because they freeze up or something. Or maybe whatever they were going to say sounded good in their head, but as soon as they walk up to them and get their attention, they're just like, fuck, I don't want to say that. And then they got a freaking thing on their feet, and not everybody can think on their feet, man. So let's see what else Sonic has to say here.
She sends out choosing signals, but then the choosing signal is very ambiguous. Okay, now this video is from Dating Right. I found it on his channel. I usually don't watch these videos, but like it just so happened to be one of those days where I saw the title "Men Don't Approach Women," and I just happened to be doing research that day on this particular subject. And
I've actually seen this video on social, I think it was either on Instagram or TikTok, and this is satire, okay? Like, I don't know if you've seen this, you probably haven't, but this is just satire. After you see it, you'll understand what I'm saying.
I came across this video and I couldn't believe what I heard when this woman said this. Okay, so take a listen.
I hate when I see a man that's so fine and then I pass him and he doesn't say anything. Like when people say, oh, girls don't shoot, they shot. Yes, they do. If I look at you like this, like say you walking this way and I'm walking like this, and if I look at you like this, that's me shooting my shot. Come say something.
That's fucking satire, but of course Sonic being the guy that he is, he's gonna be like, you can't be fucking serious. But I'm like, dude, that's fucking, she's joking around, dude. It's a lot more than that. She's just saying that because she knows she's gonna get a reaction out of people.
Guys, let me ask you a question. If a woman looks at you like the, look at the camera, okay? If a woman looks at you like this, okay, do you approach her, or do you assume that perhaps she wants to look at you to ensure herself that her safety is guaranteed? Because I do that same thing. I do that same behavior, that same gesture, but I don't do it because I want people to come up to me. I do it because I'm trying to be aware of my surroundings. Okay, I don't know who's passing by me. I like to see who that is. I wouldn't want to have a blind spot where someone just so happened to be there and I didn't recognize who that person was, because you want to be aware. You want to make sure that if you see a swinging motion of any sort, whether it be the person, the fist, or the shadow on the floor, you want to at least have a chance to dodge the punch, right? That's what I'm talking about with this, okay? How is this a choosing signal? So Camp, this is for you, bro. Like, how can you think that is a choosing signal?
I don't think that's a choosing signal. I think she was just being funny and you just didn't get the joke, obviously.
Yeah, and it's also like one example. Like,
and it's like you said, she's obviously joking, so that's not really like a good.
It's an extreme, an extreme example. Like she went full on glance, like just what's it called? You were in my blind spot type of glance, whatever.
Right.
When obviously, like, and I live in Georgia, okay, in the Atlanta area, you got beautiful women all the time walking on the sidewalk, whatever, and the guys out here, man, it's like immediately as soon as they see like a pretty girl or the girl like looks at them, whatever, they're just like, damn, or like, what's up, hottie, or whatever. They'll say something crazy, that will instantly like X them out. The girls will be like, like, I don't want to talk to you, whatever. But it's just like, it's just one of those things that's like, it's a natural reaction for guys, to just say, God damn, but it's like, you just got to have a little bit more tact, man. You got, I don't know, man. I wouldn't take this as a choosing signal because obviously it isn't. It's like, I can see why she put out the video like this, but this kind of stuff, this kind of content is going to confuse people like Sonic, unless he's playing a character. This is totally confusing him and it's throwing him off. So,
argue, by the way, how can you choose? How can you know that that's a choosing signal? Okay. Now, the reason why we were arguing this is because I said that I would prefer if women approached, because we're living in a time where women don't want to be approached, right? Men are afraid to approach. And it seems like there's a dating climate where it seems like it's appropriate for a woman to approach. Now, the reason why I would reinforce that idea is because men, not all men, obviously, but the few cases where men have approached and have been rejected, they tend to react in a lethal manner. Whereas a woman could potentially react in a lethal manner, but they're much more likely to try to shame you like in front of people, So, and that's...
Okay, here's why his argument about men like lashing out and stuff is a weak argument, because it's not something that he would do. It's probably not anything that his friends would do either. He's just going off of like the headlines that he reads, So he's going to like put this argument that men get rejected and then they lash out and they hurt women and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, like, if you haven't done that yourself, you can't really argue for that point. And that was kind of something like I was like, I kind of, after I watched that, I was like, kind of like, he kind of needs to know that you need to argue for yourself. You can't argue for anybody else.
He also said that they tend to do that, which it makes it seem like...
Yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Tend to do that. It's basically like all men, we tend to have a violent streak in us if things don't go our way, and we just want to punch a hole in the wall.
Well, it's bad enough that like women are already accusing men of being violent like that,
We don't need to be playing into it,
Exactly, right.
Exo Charles says, to be honest, he looks degenerate, not gonna lie. These are Exo Charles's words. His words do not reflect the views of this channel. I just read it out. Okay, Sonic, don't come for me. I know you're watching. I know you're ninja watching.
Do the other hustlers have beef with Sonic or something?
Well, a few of them kind of think, okay, Taking Souls for free. He's just top of my mind. He's just like, don't debate Sonic anymore. He's obviously rage baiting. Okay, like his comments are so fucking epic. I have to pin them every time. But yeah, like he just is like, no, dude. He's just like he can't believe this stuff that he's saying. Like obviously he's just trying to be entertaining. He put entertaining in like quotation marks and shit. But no, it was like, no, Taking Souls for free. There's a few other people. And then people that are not online that have seen Sonic and me debate. Like I showed the video to a few people, a lot of women, and they've all been like, dude, like that is not manly. That's just not manly.
He's a fan of Destiny, isn't he?
You know what? I think so because he does talk about a lot about Destiny.
I could have swore I saw a video of him saying that like he used to be a fan of him or something like that.
It kind of, I think Destiny has a lot of a lot of men that kind of like share a lot of Sonic's views. So I would not put that past him. Absolutely, you know, I can honestly comfortably say that Sonic is a progressive male. You know, whether he likes to hear that or not. He's obviously he's almost kind of gone too far, which I don't know what's real and what's not. But like I think for him holding these kind of views, you can never call him a traditional male, you know? So, and you know, don't take that as a slight, Sonic, because I know you're listening. But this whole thing about like, no, I think women should propose and stuff like that, and so, and you know, I try to say everything I could say before, you know, he got off, because he only gave me like an hour and a half, whatever. And I was like, dude, I got so many questions. I wrote notes and shit. I was like, dude, like this whole thing about, you know, you kind of, you know, letting somebody else kind of drive the relationship, you know, I kind of equated it to like being in a car and you being in the passenger seat. It's like, what goals do you have? Like, what dreams do you have, and to reach for and stuff? Because it just seems like you just want to be saved, and that's not manly at all, dude. Like, you should be out here doing the saving. I mean, don't be Captain Save-A-Ho. That's not what I mean. I mean, you need to find the person, because I'm not going to gender it. You need to find the person, because that would be wrong. I don't want to assume anybody's gender. I'm not saying he's gay. I'm just saying that, you know, I don't want to be like, you know, men should only be with women. You know, I don't want to be this caveman that is preaching that. I think love is love, whatever. But, you know, as long as you don't stick anything in me, we can coexist. We're good, you know? We're good. But like this whole thing about, you know, no, men are equal to women, or women are, you know, are just as good as men and stuff like that. I think it's very important that you take the time to vet, no matter what you're attracted to. Vet the person and know more about them before you like take anything further, man. And that only comes through conversation, not through good selfies, not through a banging profile on Tinder or Instagram or whatever, because all that stuff still falls back on yourself. You still have to have a mouthpiece at the end of the day. If you're this socially awkward, not recognizing, choosing signals type of guy, and you're not a traditional type of guy, then you can't be trying to go for a girl that's like feminine. you know, traditionally feminine. It's not going to work, man, because she's going to look for a strong male, a strong person that can lead her. Not a guy that's like, look, no, we're 50-50, and what you say, you know, like I'm gonna, you know, of course, you know, there is like, you know, concessions you need to make and stuff like that. I'm not saying all major decisions fall on you, but she does need to feel safe with you, you know, right, that you can protect her. And I think it's very important to, you know, at least establish that in the beginning, that look, you know, if you're with me, I'm going to take care of you, you know, like I got you covered. Not this, you know, you got to take care of yourself. All right. If shit hits the fan, I'm running that way. You just try to run the other way or something, you know, I don't want him to get both of us. But like, it's just, I don't know, man. I think
does Sonic actually believe that though, that like men and women are equal?
You know, I want to ask him that. Sonic, I know you're listening.
Yeah,
do you think men and women are equal? And, you know, he's going to be like, well, what do you mean by that? Because he's just like, he's got to have everything defined. When I say equal, I mean in terms of relationship. Do you think a woman is supposed to be a helpmate to a man? Or do you think men and women are supposed to help each other and be like, you know, equals? You know, like say like, what? Like if a man loses a job, can he be a stay-at-home husband while his wife goes to work and conquers the world? Or do you think a man should never accept that and be like, no, I'm going to try to find a job, whatever, so I can contribute as well, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to ask him that. Sonic, if you want,
it'd be interesting to it'd be interesting to talk to him. I mean, the last time you guys talked, you guys only debated for like that 1v1 debate you guys had. It was only like an hour.
Bro, I know. I wanted to go for so much longer, but you know how it is, man. You know, Sonic has a content schedule he's got to stick to and stuff, and You know me, man. I only got enough time for like one video a week, you know. So of course I can go hard. I can go for 3 hours. I can go sometimes 5 if time permits and stuff. But I get it. People got to wake up early, and people got to
Yeah, they got their lives.
They got their lives and stuff. But no, I would really like to just ask him, because I don't even know if he actually answered my question. I said, what do you think about? That would be the question. Do you think men and women are equal in terms of a relationship? Do you think it should be 50-50, or do you think, just in general, or do you think that it works better where the woman is supporting them, is like not supporting man, but a helpmate to the man, like she enhances his life, but she basically adds value to his life by making sure that he's good. And what I mean by that is, making sure that, he has food, making sure that, his living area, because if she's living with him, his living area is organized and clean and stuff like that. And he basically is responsible for keeping the lights on. He's responsible for, keeping his loyalty to her and stuff like that, and making sure that if they have children and stuff, that he's spending time with the kids and being like a good contributing husband and father.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to go the whole red pill route and stuff. Like, no, we got to have separate houses from our wives. Like, that's too fucking crazy, dude. Like, I can't subscribe to any of that.
What are your thoughts on like the red pill in general?
I think it's bad. I think it's bad for men. It's basically, okay, red pill is like OnlyFans for men. It's like it's selling on a fantasy that is not going to really make men successful in relationships. Kind of how OnlyFans is for women. It's going to make you, it might make you more money, and having this thought process about like, not simping. Yeah, I don't think anybody should simp. I think that's bad. But I think that the red pill sometimes can take it a little too far.
Oh, for sure.
This whole like not listening to like the opinions of women and stuff like that. It's like, no, I mean, if you're in a relationship and stuff, I think it's fine to have communication. It's actually paramount to have communication with the person you're with. It's important to consider other people's ideas outside of your own. Sure, if there's major decisions that need to be made, maybe sometimes you do need to confer with one another. Because one person could offer someone a perspective that you didn't have, or you didn't consider.
Exactly,
so yeah, of course. There is, I mean,
that's exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah, it can't be all one way. I mean, okay, so let's just think for a moment. Let's just go into a fantasy world. You are with a woman that, completely looks up to you. She's completely on your program, and she is completely devoted to you, okay? That's kind of like something that we would like to have, sure. But this woman has zero ideas, zero dreams. She just wants to serve you. You kind of want a little bit more substance than that, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's almost kind of like you're dating an AI robot that's not a robot, You kind of want somebody that has a little bit more, I don't know, maybe some life to them, someone that maybe has other interests, maybe, or hobbies or something like that. Something that, they're not like, you probably want a woman that like loves you and stuff like that, but you definitely want a woman that like maybe has her own thing going too, I don't know, like not like her own business and shit like that, where she's making like, like more than you and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is like, you want a woman that, has her own life too. Like, not like, hey, she goes out with, a bunch of guys and shit like that, and, possibly puts herself in questionable situations. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that, she's loyal to you, but she has friends and stuff. But she's loyal. She's loyal. She has, her girlfriends and stuff that she wants to go out with. And it's like, but she's a good girl, It's like, I don't know. I think that's kind of what everybody wants, but you definitely don't want a girl that is just like all up on you, mothering you and stuff like that. It's like, I mean, you kind of need your space sometimes, you know. You don't want to be on each other all the time because that will get fucking annoying. You know, you got to kind of have your own space too to kind of like breathe from one another, because that way, you know, when you do come together, you know, it's better. You know, I'm not saying live in separate houses. You know, that's extreme, but you know, definitely, you know, it's like, I don't know, when you're with someone and it's going the distance, it's good when you have your time to be, you know, separate from one another. So when you do come together, you know, it's like it adds to the longevity. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. You know, it's just
yeah. No, it makes sense.
No, I mean, like I kind of look at the example of my parents and my grandparents. You know, my grandparents were together for God, maybe like 50 years. And then my parents were together for about 30 years, you know, and it's just like, I want to go that distance with my wife. You know, we've already had the conversation of growing old and stuff together and all that stuff, and watching our kids have grandkids and everything like that. And that's the kind of woman you want, man. You want a woman that's like, that doesn't even have in her mind that you guys are going to one day break up. Or have that fear that one day you're going to leave her for somebody younger or something like that. It's like, no, man. It's like, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm solid, you know? As long as you love me, you ain't got to worry about me. You know? I'm going to love you too. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think it's easy for me to say stuff like that because I am older, you know? And I've experienced life, and I've had, you know, a lot of stories to tell. But now I'm ready to raise a family, man. I'm ready to just like build. I'm ready to build with someone and have moments with that person and have memories to look back on and stuff like that. You know? I mean, that's what life is, man. It's just a bunch of experiences strung together with time. Yeah. You know? And you want to be able to look back and be like, yeah, you know, I lived a good life. I mean, yeah, we all make mistakes and we've all had, you know, things we regret, but I think you want to have the good experiences outweigh the bad. You know, you want to have the bad stuff just be stuff that you learn from, and the good stuff is stuff that you revere. You go back and you're like, you know, that was great. That was a good time, man. You know, but yeah, it's I think you can only get that, man, if you settle down with someone and share your life with them. You know, but this person has to genuinely like you, and you have to genuinely like them. And it's like, it can only work when like a woman loves you and you love her, or what does Myron say? If a woman loves you and you just like her, I don't know. Myron's fucking weird. Well, I've always thought that Myron is just like, look, this is an act I gotta play. I gotta play the straight guy, you know, because I got a lot of supporters. Okay, but like, but no, I think like, no, you gotta love her too. You know, it's just what it is. You got to kind of swallow this like ego that you have and be like, no, man, like I finally found the person that I don't have to change myself to be with. You know, I don't have to alter my ego or be somebody different, try to be somebody I'm not. And she accepts me, you know? And then, you know, with the woman, yeah, you have to be attracted to her. But at the same time, she has to offer you value that is just like, man, like, a woman that reminds you to take your medication or something like that, or a woman that like want to make sure that whatever you're striving for, that you have all the materials you need to succeed, you know? And, you know, it's like, there's no limit to it. You know, a woman that makes an effort for you, that's rare, because a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women are kind of out for their own self-interest. But you find that one girl, man, that's like, yo, man, I like this person and I'm going to invest in him. You know, it doesn't even have to be money. It just has to be money. It doesn't have to be money. It has to be time and effort, you know? And yeah, dude, once that happens to you, man, you need to scoop her up, because you found yourself a diamond, bro. You know, I don't know if I told anybody, I don't think I've told any of the hustlers this, but when I went to the Philippines the second time, to basically ask my wife, who, you know, she wasn't my wife then, but, you know, for her to be my girlfriend and stuff, that was around September, because that was like the week of her birthday and stuff like that. My birthday is in October, and what she did for me while I was over there, because I was over there for 2 weeks, she basically like, I was staying in like a hotel like within walking distance from where she was, because, you know, got to be respectful, you know, the parents were there and stuff, and, you know, I'm not trying to like, hey, can I sleep in her room and shit. I wasn't trying to have that conversation. But so I slept in this like hotel that was, you know, really fucking nice, and, you know, they had like a pool and a gym and stuff like that. So she tells me, she's like, hey, while you're like working out and stuff like that and at the pool, just when you're done, go to the front desk and I'm going to have them clean your room, you know? And whenever you're done, you know, working out and stuff like that, go to the front desk and ask them if your room is ready, and they'll let you know. I was like, okay, you know, I didn't think anything of it. So I'm like chilling at the pool, working out and stuff like that. And then, you know, probably about like an hour goes by, I go to the front desk and I'm like, hey, is my room ready and stuff? And they're like, yeah, your room's all clean. I'm like, sweet. So I go up there and I open the door, and there's just like probably about 50 balloons, like all inflated, you know, hanging from the ceiling with like string. And on the end of the string are like pictures of me, and at the time she was my girlfriend, because I'd already asked her and stuff, but she had already taken pictures and attached them to all the strings of the balloons. I know this is gonna sound really, really cheesy, but this is just what happened. So I don't care, dude. So on the back of every picture was like a birthday wish. And then I had a mirror in my hotel room that had 33 post-it notes, because I was turning 33, that she had put on there, and each one had like another birthday wish on it. Then in my bedroom, there was 33 gifts with notes on them. And I was like, holy fucking shit. I was just thinking to myself, I didn't say this out loud. I was like, holy fucking shit, I have to marry this person, because I've never had anybody do this much effort towards me. Like, this is crazy.
I think I remember you telling me the story.
Hey, K5, how you doing, sir? I know that voice. How you doing, sir?
This motherfucker didn't even jump it and didn't know I jumped in.
Bro, I was on the other screen. I was on the other screen watching Sonic talk about women approaching men. How you doing, bro?
All right, you just got off Rivals, jumped on there for.
Nice. Welcome to the stream, sir. But basically,
real quick, have you ever watched the Filipino P?
No, I haven't watched anybody pee.
Okay. No, god damn it.
Wait, you got a story to tell?
No, because you said you went to the Philippines. Your wife's from the Philippines and shit. And that's what she talks about a lot, coming to the Philippines and.
Oh yeah.
A girlfriend or a wife, mainly a wife.
Well, I wasn't. The thing is, I wasn't even saying like, "Hey, go to the Philippines because you're going to find a traditional woman." That's just what happened to me. Okay, but I know there's a lot of people that, you know, are passport bros, and they're like, "No, man, go to Philippines, go to like, go overseas, go to Colombia, go to whatever, and find like a wife that is, traditionally feminine, because, typically lower income areas and stuff, men and women kind of fall into their natural roles, So yeah, you're going to find.
I was going to ask you if the stuff she talks about is similar to what happened to you.
Who talks about?
The Filipino P. PEA, like the vegetable.
Filipina P? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that person.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, like, so going back to the story, man, there's just like, I've never had a woman make that much of an effort for me. So like, I was just like, I gotta lock this down. And you know what? You're gonna fucking have that happen to you. I'm not saying it like exactly, but you're gonna have a woman that makes an effort, and it's just gonna like click in your head. You're like, dude, like, it's never gonna be this good again.
Yeah, for sure.
And you gotta fucking take the risk, okay? I know it's like, yo, man, like, this person could end up being a fucking psycho, but you gotta be able to read that shit, man. And it just happened to work out. It's still working out now, but it's like, for me, like, that was the sign for me. I was just like, dude, like, I went to the Philippines to like ask her to be my girlfriend, and then she went ahead and planned this whole thing as far as like setting up for my birthday early, because she knew that she was going to be able to see me once I went back, after the 2 weeks in September. So I don't know, man. I was just like, dude, that's fucking crazy. At the time I was like, dude, I haven't had I had, girlfriends and stuff growing up and everything, but I'd never had a girl make me anything or get me anything or put any type of effort like that. I don't think I ever had a girl like draw me a picture. Like, that's just how tough it is in America. But so when that happened, I was just like, yeah, dude, like, this is it, man. Even though like I'm going to go back to America, I'm willing to do this long distance thing for like, I think it ended up being like 9 months, because I basically like just worked my ass off to like get her to come over here, and then as soon as she landed in the States, man, I proposed to her. Because I was just like, I'm not wasting any more fucking time, dude. Like, okay, Kevin Samuels.
How old were you?
I was 33.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but it was just like Kevin Samuels said this. He's like, which some stuff that Kevin Samuels said was kind of wild. Like he's talked about paying for box and shit like that. He said that too, which I didn't agree with. But he did say that men know if they want to marry a woman within 6 months of knowing her. But for me, it was a little bit longer. We talked back and forth every day for like an hour, for like a solid year. And we had like that solid amount of like communication that, when we were finally together, it was just like all of that shit happened. And then I was just like, dude, I can't go back to just being like a single guy. Like I gotta be committed. I gotta make the choice in my life if I want to be committed to this person, and do what it takes to basically get her to come to the United States. And thank God that I fucking stuck it out, because now I'm in the very unique position of being the guy that gets to show her everything. And I get to be that guy that gets, how like when Fresh and Fit say like, I don't think it's Fresh and Fit. I think it's Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate said that you want to be the window into a girl's world. So like, the woman sees everything in the world for the first time through you, and it's like that's the best position to be in. So like I get to have that, and like I know that it's not possible with a lot of girls, because a lot of girls are getting flown out. A lot of girls are having these experiences, and then like they're being tossed aside, and they're jumping back on the carousel, and it's just like, and then after a while it just doesn't faze them anymore. There's nothing new that you can show to a woman that's been flown out like a dozen times, and it just it sucks. But at least I can say that I'm glad that I got out when I did, because now shit's crazy. Shit's like fucking, it's a shit show now, and I feel for all the guys out there that are having to navigate this type of landscape, or what does Sonic say, the climate having to navigate this climate, and they don't know where to start, because they don't want to be Me Too'd, they don't want to be put on Instagram or any type of social media, or with the T app.
I'm just about to ask you about that shit.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
I wish you had covered that.
A lot of guys are getting exposed over the T app and shit. Thankfully,
I heard that shit got hacked.
Yeah, the shit got hacked, and rightfully so. I think that shit's kind of karmic retribution for all the guys that got exposed in there, that the women got their fucking data leaked. I mean, I'm sorry, fair is fair. You want to come on like a platform and shit on men, a private platform, and shit on men or whatever.
I did hear one story, not to interrupt you. I did hear one story about the T app. This chick got on it just to check it out.
Yeah.
And she saw this chick, a picture of a dude flashing guns, and then she's talking about 2 weeks later he cheated on her, and she asked her what was appealing about a dude flashing guns in the first place.
What'd she say?
She didn't respond to her.
Oh, okay.
She just went silent.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like, that didn't look like a red flag to you?
Right. Well, I think some people are more comfortable with guns than others. They're just like, well, as long as he'll protect me with them, that's fine. He can have guns and shit. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it. Adam, I tell folks.
I mean, some people just don't recognize the red flags in people either.
Or they think it's attractive. I could be the one to be different.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some women have the mindset that, oh, I can change him, or I can save him, or I can, you know. But yeah, or people. Sometimes, you know, a guy can be just, I guess, to a woman very attractive, and they're just like, I can overlook a lot of this stuff, you know. Like the clan hood, yeah, he has one, but he doesn't have to wear it all the time.
Like, oh man, clan hood, fuck that. I just caught that shit.
I mean, apparently, didn't Angie like make the clan hood for Myron? You know, and he was like proud of that shit. I don't know, man.
Okay.
It's kind of wild, you know. But I was like, hey, she's just playing her part, man. She's being the supportive role, so. But yeah. In terms of this whole like navigating the current climate of you know, women and stuff, it's like, man, you just like, I'm not saying disregard women. I'm just saying focus on like your own thing, man. Focus on like your career path and like whatever you're trying to do in this world to give back to the world and stuff. Figure that out, man. Because
also figure out what you don't want.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's going to come over time though, you know? I mean, like I said, you know, what's that?
Not too many people say that though. Like, figure out what you want. It's like, how do you come to that conclusion by knowing what you don't want?
Well, I mean, that just comes through experience, you know, comes through, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying date 50 women and sleep with 50 women to figure out what you don't want. You don't have to go that far. Sometimes you
talk to them, don't find that shit out.
Exactly. You don't, I mean, that's the thing, man. I think I've said this before, that women will hang themselves with the things that they entrust to you, that they'll talk about, you know. Women, you know, you've been around that girl that will just like excessively talk about her ex-boyfriend, you know, and you're just like, I don't need to hear this shit, you know. But maybe she's saying for a good reason, maybe to hold you at a certain distance, whatever, so that maybe you're just like, okay, yeah, she's kind of crazy, you know. Or maybe she doesn't realize she's doing it. Sometimes, you know, women will just do certain behaviors that they think is socially acceptable, you know, or they try to treat you like a I don't know, like a
emotional tampon.
Emotional tampon. Thank you. The exact word I was looking for. You know, like one of their girlfriends.
Probably not the exact word, but that fits.
No, exactly. I mean, more ways than one. But like, you know, it's like, you know, you got the girls that don't really know the difference between like confiding in a girlfriend and confiding in like a guy. You know, they kind of like see them as the same because they think, you know, they're just, you know, the men and women are the same. But it's like, guys don't want to hear a lot of shit that women have to say when it comes to like ex-boyfriends, you know. It's like, we kind of want you to move on from that shit. You know. But some people are just open books, and they just, you know, they need to know when to shut the hell up about stuff. I don't know, man. In terms of
realizing men are different from girls, like when they're talking to you, they go girls. Like, yo, did you just fucking call me girl? You ever had that happen?
No, but I was just imagining it happening to Sonic. And no, but no,
I forget the young dude's name that's in the chat that starts with a K. What was it again? Kavos?
Oh, Kavos, yeah.
Kavos. You ever had that shit happen?
What's the question?
Like when you talking to a chick and she's getting excited in the conversation and she goes, girl, let me tell you. It's like, did you just call me girl?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I think it's annoying.
You'd have to flip it. You'd have to flip it back on them and be like, boy, let me tell you. Or bro.
Bro.
No, a lot of them say bro nowadays.
That is true. And it's like, I don't know. You got to kind of like read people's body language when they talk like that. Sometimes I check people on them, like, bro, what do you mean, bro? And she's like, I didn't mean it like that. Like, well, you fucking better didn't. But no, it's I don't know. I catch people saying bro is kind of like a well, you know, it's like this.
Bruh.
It's like that. It's just kind of. It's not really like.
It's a new thing now. Instead of saying you heard me or you heard what I'm saying, they say
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. It's just like, oh, it's kind of like saying that's fucked up or whatever, but it's in a more casual way. So it all depends on the context, you know. But hold on, let's I don't know. Let's get back to this because I really want to. I don't know if you saw this. I do want to kind of show it to
I
you
would
more.
say that's a better trade-off than, you know, handling it in a lethal manner. But for the most part, like, you know, give the women a shot so they can give
The
it a
stream's
shot. I see online
behind.
that there are
Hold on,
people
let me go
out
back
there
on
that are
YouTube.
asking how can a woman take a shot? Like, these women are asking, like, you know, how can I take a shot, you know? Like, for instance, this video here is how to shoot your shot 2019.
The
I
stream's
remember
just
seeing
now
this
talking
video
about
a
us
long
talking
time
about
ago,
bro.
but just let's read some of the comments so you guys can see what
Yeah, the stream's a little behind. I would just say mute the stream so you can listen to this.
And this is a month ago. Look, check this out. This is from
Yeah,
someone
I had
in
to-
here who commented on that
What do you
video.
call
got
it?
reminded of
I got to
this
turn it down on my phone.
GIF and
Okay.
I don't have it
just
on
wanna say
YouTube
thank you,
anymore.
girl, 'cause
Okay.
this shit
What were you
actually
trying to show
got
me?
Get my middle school crush back in.
What was I trying to show you?
I feel like the only problem is that
Yeah.
people think, oh,
Did you see this?
Oh yeah. So basically, Sonic did a video about saying I think women should propose to men, and he tagged me in the video, and like a lot of this stuff is just like he's not catching that when women make videos to you know, kind of not really rage bait, but to kind of like spark conversation. It just completely went over his head that when a woman does like the side eye glance, that's a woman shooting her shot. And I'm like, it's a little bit, that was a little bit extreme. And he was just like, how can you say that's shooting your shot? That's so ambiguous. I do the same thing, you know, when I'm just trying to, you know, absorb my surroundings and see what's going on around me and stuff. It's for my safety. And I'm like, dude, you can't be this autistic, bro. You can't. Like, you can't, man. Like, you got to realize that she was just trying to be funny. And the ones that know, the ones that get it, you know? But now he's trying to make the argument that that men are not smart enough to see these choosing signals. So it's very like, it's like we just need women to be a little bit more direct, you know, like men, and come up to us with pickup lines, possibly like, you know, your hair looks nice or some shit. I don't know how he wants women to approach. That was another thing I asked. I was like, how do you want women to like carry out this worldview that you have, you know? So you understand that like rejection is something that women generally don't have to deal with. They're the ones that do the rejecting. Why would they want to change the paradigm on that? You know? Don't women have enough like self-conscious?
Nowadays they kind of have to with all that stuff they've been putting out, like what do you call it? Leave us alone, don't talk to us, and all that shit. Now dudes are paranoid, trying not to get me too'd and shit.
Right. I mean, we're just like, dude, go ask the bear then. Shit. Like, what do you want me to do about it? God damn. It just seems like, okay, if you think that all men are evil and we're just, you know, we're out here to just, you know, what's the word? R-word and pillage. And you'd rather just, you know, at least with a bear, you know, you at least know where the bear is coming from. I'm like, where's the logic in that, dude? It's
Not
like,
necessarily that with a bear you're gonna get mauled in the way you don't want to.
yeah, and you're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed because the bear is
Yeah,
just
bears
like,
are gentle when they eat that salmon.
yeah. So it's just like, a man is way worse in their minds. I'm just like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I don't know, man. To me, it just kind of shows that there's just this crazy disconnect in terms of like a fear of unknown that you have with just a general populace of men, you know, because there's so many bad examples out here. They're making us all look bad, you know, or you know, the ones with
about
the
60% of the sound, it sounds like a trend to me.
You think so?
Yeah, 60% of the time, yeah. I think that shit's just a trend, like people following. Because me and you work at the same spot. You remember that chick that was sitting there playing sexual harassment, and she's done it more than like in the double digits on people that weren't even hitting on her.
Yeah, that shit's wild. just like false reporting people, and yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
she's claiming all these dudes are hitting on her and nobody's hitting on her.
I'm of the type of thought that if a woman falsely accuses somebody and like they got to go to jail or get arrested and shit like that, and then it turns out that it was just a false accusation or whatever, I think the woman should go to jail for that.
Yeah, plus 2 years.
I mean, it's just you're basically I mean, it's I don't know if you remember the Indian guy that he had to do some time for a woman that like thought he was like.
Oh yeah,
remember that
like,
shit?
Her baby was like falling in the shopping cart, and he caught the baby, and she lied about it.
Basically saying that he was trying to like
snatch her baby.
Snatch her baby. Yeah, the dude went to jail and like all this shit or whatever, and he just endured the entire thing. And it was a complete false accusation. I'm like, dude, you had the fucking footage, man. It's like, what the hell? You're just gonna believe her over like some fucking footage, dude? It was crazy, man.
He was in there for like a month and a half, right?
That's dude, even being in there for like a week over a false accusation is fucking fucked up, you know? And the man never got a sorry. He never got any type of like anything, dude. He had to do the time for an accusation. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like there needs to be penalties for this shit.
And one right before him, that was a dude that got jailed in the 70s in New York. Some chick was walking in the park and just randomly said some black dude touched her. They arrested him, had him in jail. Right around that time that Indian dude got out. They got out around the same time.
Damn, dude.
And then she continued to lie about it.
Of course. You got to commit to that because otherwise you probably would have some repercussions coming at you. Yeah, man.
So far, ain't none of them got repercussions.
No, dude. It's just the benefits of being a woman, man. This is another benefit that women have that men don't, man. It's like what if you were to falsely accuse a woman of like harassing you, they're just like they don't take it serious, man. You know?
Hey Camp, I'm gonna bounce, bro.
Hey man, I appreciate you talking, man. I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me, man. We need to have more conversations like this, and I look forward to future conversations of whatever we got, man. But yeah, appreciate you, man. You have a good night, dude.
Yeah, man. You too.
All right, take care, brother.
Peace, man.
Take care, Shrine.
Man, so how you been, brother? You been doing all right?
Been all right. Got me some days off.
Oh, good shit, dude. Good shit.
I be on the morning shift. I don't really sleep, but I'd rather be done in the morning and get off.
Yeah.
Done.
Hell yeah, get the rest of the day off, man.
And the PM.
Nice.
All the crazies come in after 2.
Yeah, man. I was talking.
Got to deal with it for an hour.
I was talking to my wife about this. So the car that I have, I was getting it looked at by a mechanic, and I needed
the SUV looking one.
Yeah, so I needed to basically get I needed to get the active air grill replaced and also the radiator fan replaced because it was like basically it was overheating pretty much the engine and all this stuff. So the guy, I call a guy basically out to like dismantle and stuff, and I had already paid for the new parts and everything, so all he had to do was take it out and install it. Well, and he was like, oh, so it took me like a week to order the parts. The guy had already agreed. He's like, yeah, dude, I could fix it for like 200. And I was like, that's great. That sounds great, because I took it to the dealership.
The price.
Well, no, I took it to the dealership first, and they were like, yeah, we'll do it for like 3,000. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, dude, let me, because they were like, well, you still got to pay us for the diagnostic and, checkout fees and all that stuff like that. So I basically had to end up paying like $280 to get it out. So I got it out. Drove it to my place, and then I searched online to try to find like a mobile mechanic and stuff like that, and then I bought the pieces and stuff that I needed. And then the guy was like, yeah, I'll do it for 200, just like you just said. He's like, The day that he was supposed to come out, he was like, "Oh, I realized we were talking on Messenger or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, I realized when I quoted you, I only quoted you for the one part, the active air grill. If we're gonna do the radiator fan, it's gonna be 500." I was like,
It's cheaper than what you call it said, but still, it's like, why are you gonna change it later on?
he was literally changing it the day of the service that he was gonna come out
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I was literally asking, I was like, "Hey man, like I'm gonna be available all day, so if you can come in the morning, that would be great. That way, you know, we can get it done." And he was like, "Yeah, no problem, whatever." And then I even confirmed to him in the same conversation. I was like, "It's still 200, right, for all in all?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right, cool. Well, I'll be here. I'll see you when you get here." And then that was when he messaged me, like probably like 30 minutes later, and he was like, "Oh, I realized I'm on my way, but I just realized I only quoted you for that one piece. It's actually gonna be 500." And I was like, "Is there any way you can come down from 500? Like, you're just springing this on me right now, and I didn't know, you know." And I already spent I spent like 230 for the two pieces. So trying my best to not having to spend like 3,000. So I'm like, okay, I can do like 400 maybe, you know. And he was just like, he's like, "Well, you know," he's like, it's already kind of a discount, you know. I was like, "I can do like 450. This is what he said. He's like, "I can do 450. It's already kind of a discount."
No, you started off at 400.
And I was like, I was like, "You know what? All right, fine." Because he was a discount or whatever already. He's like, "That's fair between both of us, whatever." And I'm like, "You know what?" I kind of looked at the situation. I was like, "You know what? It's not 1,000. You know, it's not 3,000." And I got the money, so at least he was able to come down at least, you know, $50, whatever. So the guy gets here. He sees that there's like two more pieces after he dismantles the car. He sees that there's two more pieces that need to be replaced. The front bumper, I'm sorry, like on the inside of the bumper, there's like a metal front bumper bar, and then there's two other things. It was the AC condenser that was bent because the bumper basically was pressing against that, and then the AC condenser was pressing against the radiator, which was basically pressing against the fan, which was why it wasn't spinning, and that's why the car was overheating. So he's like, "Yeah, you need to get these three things." And I was like, "Okay." So then I looked online on Amazon, whatever, found like all three things, ended up paying like another $250. And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to get these pieces until close to the 7th or the 8th of August, whatever." So I message him, and he's like, "Look, I'll give you a good price and everything like that when I come back out." Like, okay, we know how that goes. So then the dude, I messaged the guy. I was like, "Hey, so I got 2 out of 3 of the pieces, and the other piece is going to be delivered later today. Is there any way you can come by either in the morning today or tomorrow morning?" And he ended up messaging me back. He's like, "Yeah, man, I can definitely come out. I can try to make it out today, if not Friday morning." So I'm like, "All right." So the dude comes out, and at the time I asked him, I was like, "What would you quote me on the pieces?" Because now he knows what pieces, you know, are going to be whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, "I can do it for 550. I was like, "Is there any way you can do it for less than that? You know, like maybe 400? And he was like, "It's actually already a discount. It's actually kind of fair." And I was like, "Fuck." I was like, right now I'm at like 900 so far, or 950 because I did 400 last time. Because the car wasn't fixed after Yeah, so the car wasn't fixed after he had, like, you know, installed the pieces and stuff like that. And, you know, there's still more work to be done. So I was just like, okay, he's installing 3 more pieces, and it's probably going to take like all day. It ended up being like, I think like a 6-hour job in all. And then after it was done, the guy was like, so I was like, "Okay, so I need to put some coolant in it, obviously, because when we switch out the radiator or whatever, you basically got to drain the radiator. That drains all the coolant out and stuff." And then I knew that. And then he was just like, "Yeah, you're also going to need a transmission flush." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "I could do it for you, but it's going to be another 500. I'm like, "No."
Oh my fucking God.
No.
Like, no, you just keep bringing up
You
shit.
just keep doing this. And I'm like, "No, I'm good." I was like, a radiator flush, I can search around for that. That's not a problem, you know? And he's like, yeah, and then that you're also going to need to get like what's it called? A AC recharge kit to recharge the AC and stuff. So I was like, okay. So I look all of this stuff up online. The AC recharge kit was like, I think $30 at Advanced Auto Parts. I got the coolant, and then I basically called up the dealership, the one that was going to charge me like $3,000, because I called a few shops, whatever. I called the dealership, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can do the transmission flush for $347." I was like, "Is that all in all like drive off and stuff?" And she's like, "Yep, drive off." And I was like, all right, awesome. She's like, we can't take you today, though, but we can get you first in on Monday. So I'm like, excellent. So, gonna get the car.
Switch it up when you get there, no?
No. They're not. Because everything else is fixed.
Okay.
Everything else is fixed. The only thing I gotta get is transmission flush because the radiator is brand new.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet. I basically,
Okay.
This is the weekend that I'm just gonna be, you know, possibly taking Uber back and forth. But yeah,
Okay.
I can drive the car. I got the coolant and stuff like that, so I can drive the car. It's like less than a mile away, so I can do that, and then we're good. You know, I'll be the first one in as soon as they open. And she said that they can get it done, you know, within a couple hours. So it will be done within the day. So, all in all, it's about $1,400. I think total that I ended up paying for parts and
Still not $3,000 though.
Still not $3,000.
That's the right side.
So that is the silver lining in the entire story. So you don't have to go to the dealership and pay that crazy prices, because yeah, they're gonna give you like OEM parts or whatever, like original parts and shit, and you know, charge you premium for the labor. Or you know, you can always go to the mobile mechanic, but read the reviews. Read the reviews.
Did you leave a review on that person?
I did not. I did not, because it might need to. Yeah. But
unless you need that person to get out of a stick.
Well, here's the thing. I found them on on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and then I read the reviews. He had good reviews and stuff like that. But I want to see what happens when I take the car to the dealership and what they say about his work. You know, so
got you. Okay.
That will kind of drive my whole decision in terms of like how I approach my review of him. Because if they're like, dude, I don't know who the hell fixed your car, this person didn't know what he was doing, all that stuff, you know, then yeah, of course I got to do what I got to do. So, gotta
the public.
Right, but as far as that, man, I'm just gonna be chilling until Monday. You know, hopefully everything works out, and you know, we can move past this. So
it's not too expensive to get home from work, no?
No, actually not. It's not. It's not bad at all. So it's all good.
Is it under 15 or right around there?
About 12.
Okay, no, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, even on the weekends, actually, I was like thinking that it was going to be more absorbent, but it's actually not that bad, dude. It's pretty good.
Not only increase when it rains.
Yeah, and luckily, man, we've been having some really nice weather, so it's good stuff, man.
Of course it is. It's fucking summer and it's Georgia.
Right?
They gonna rain like that.
Yes, sir. But
it's hot and humid, but thankfully we're not in Savannah.
Thank God, yeah. Man,
You've been out there when it's humid?
I've been out there, actually. I've actually been out to Savannah. The only time I've been out for Savannah is for a wedding. Both times I've been out there for weddings. And I would say both times it was pretty muggy, wet weather. So, yeah.
What month was it?
It was around May, like April, May time.
Okay, yeah, I went out there around the same time. We did our what do you call it? We did some shows outside of Georgia, and then we did a show in Savannah.
Oh, okay.
Savannah sucked with humidity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think it would be better because it's like it's kind of close to the ocean and stuff, you know? You think the ocean breeze and stuff, but it's not that. It's not the case at all, dude. It's like swamp.
I thought it was bad where we are now. No.
Yeah. Yeah, man. If you want to plug your band, if you're on a public platform, dude, if you want to let anybody know about your band, dude, because I know about it, but I'm sure if you want to let people know about it, you can.
We'll put it in the Discord or whatnot.
Or you can tell people about it if you want, like, the name of it, and then also the and if there's any YouTube videos that people want to look up and stuff.
Oh yeah, best to look us up on Spotify. I play bass for a band called Nihilect, Nilih. Yeah, damn, I can't remember how to spell it. Nihilect.
Nice.
We got one EP out, and there's a new song coming out. We're shooting a video for it tomorrow, so it should be out in the next week.
That's what's up, man. How many people are in your band?
4.
Okay. Have you had any like band members change, or you guys all been the same from the original?
No, I'm actually their second bass player, and the vocalist is the third vocalist. We changed our name from their original name.
How do you spell it again? I'm gonna look you guys up.
Nihilect. But it's metal. You don't like heavy shit, skip on it. If you do like heavy shit, you'll enjoy it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what your logo? Your logo, it's like the red and black. Is that right?
It should be white. Oh wait, are you on Instagram? Because I know it's red on Instagram.
I'm on YouTube right now.
Okay, yeah, it's the same Instagram logo. So it's red and black on Instagram and YouTube.
Somebody posted a picture. Like leather seats, like when you're in a booth in a restaurant and like it's been sat on so much.
The whole metal logo shit.
Did you see? I saw that literally today, and somebody's like, "Man, I love this band," and they just showed a picture of the leather seat. And a lot of people, they were not taking it as like Tool. They were taking it as like other bands like Gore, and there's a few others that that have like similar.
What's that dude's name? He was going over some shit like that. Jarrett Dines. Somebody showed him a pile of sticks and zoomed in on it. He was like, "Guess what band this is?" He's like, "I can't tell." And they zoomed out. He's bust out laughing. It's a pile of fucking sticks.
Yeah, man.
Ours isn't that bad though. You can tell what it said.
Yeah, it's readable. It's readable. It's not like the other ones that it literally looks like a bunch of sticks, but like it's in a logo form.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's either sticks or cracked leather, one of the two. Right.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, I just subscribed and
cracked glass.
Yeah. Dude, other people were like putting pictures and stuff of like the other seats and stuff. They're like, no, not as good as this band. It would shake like another picture of like either like a zoomed in pile of sticks, some cracked glass, or like another like a leather seat or something like that where it was like eaten away. And I was like, that's funny. Okay, so it looks like I see a video here from was it Inviolable Sin from Tapestry?
That's the first song I recorded with him.
Okay.
Tapestry is the EP, Inviolable Sin is the first. Inviolable, like if you look up Mirthless, Inviolable Sin's on there because it's a Mirthless song. We just carried it over.
Nice. Am I gonna get in trouble or copyright if I play this video on stream?
Yeah, because you're on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, you guys actually have a topic and stuff, so you guys are legit.
Gonna strike you.
Yeah, you guys are pretty.
YouTube's gonna strike you regardless, and then we may not hear about it for like a week.
Okay.
As a drummer heads all that shit, he's awful busy. He just did a show with another band. Is it today? Today or yesterday?
Okay. That's cool, man. One thing I've always wanted to have was musical talent, dude. Like my brother, he can play music by ear, and I have the ability to like draw and stuff, and we've always wanted each other's talents, But no, that's
switching up.
Yeah, like
if he went somewhere with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a bass guitar in his house too, but he plays everything, man. He plays like piano, he has guitar, he has a couple.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, it's just, and my sister, she has the ability to like design houses and stuff like that. So she's like, we all have kind of like a visual or like a musical talent of some kind, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, dude, you got a couple videos here.
Yeah, each song has a video for it on that EP.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pin some of this stuff so I can listen to it later. That's what's up, dude.
Which one I was sick and I'm barely in it. Sovereign Tongue, I think, is the one that I was sick and I'm barely in that video.
Sovereign Tongue, I see it here. Yeah. Okay.
It's black and white and all that.
It looks like the album cover. Yeah. That's pretty dope though, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, shout out to Nihilek, man. You guys go check him out, man. Got a nice little channel here. Is this your?
Just know if you still live at home, if they're listening, if you still live at home, just know your parents are going to say it sounds like you're playing Satan at your radio.
Well, I mean, all music kind of sounds like noise to parents nowadays. So, but
because you're a parent right now, any of that stuff sounds like noise to you.
Well, the only thing I would say would probably be like what was that music? The wubby music that was out. Dubstep. Yeah, dubstep was like kind of wild for a while in terms of like just I couldn't understand like the craziness about it, you know?
No, it just sounded the same to me.
Yeah.
I was like 22, 23 when that came out.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you're old. I'm like, I guess so. This all sounds the same. But the drum pattern was the same. It's like,
yeah, man. And you
every
know,
song.
you realize
song.
you're like your parents when you say that line. It's just all sounds the same. Or it's all just noise to me, you know? It's just a more extreme version of that.
Kind of, but I can actually put together why this is noise to me instead of just saying it's noise to me.
Right. Yeah, man.
But it did trip me out when somebody had pointed out that reggaeton, the beat plays backwards, it's drum and bass.
Mr. XO Charles just says, I love dubstep. Hey, man, we're not going to hold it against you, bro. That's fine.
You can like what you like. I don't care.
Yeah, you
It's
can like
fine.
exactly what you like, man. I don't have... The thing is, it's just for me, I might have just encountered some bad dubstep, you know? Now, I know there's just like so many different
There's some
versions.
good out there, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's like, what is it? House. You got chill step or something like that. You got lo-fi. So some of that stuff is kind of listenable a little bit, you know? So I won't say it's all
There's an
bad.
example of stuff like that that's not the same during my era. You're not that much. Me and you are around the same age. You remember that genre of metal? Everybody was wearing white belts. I called it emo core back in the day.
Oh yeah. What was it? My Chemical Romance.
It all had like Between the Buried and Me, my illegitimate kids and me and whatnot. They all had titles like that. A lot of them sounds.
Sure. I mean, when they all sound the same, you call it a genre, right? You know, it's like when new metal was on top. Yeah, new metal and all those bands came out.
Different though.
Well, yeah, everybody had like a distinctive style to it, but it was more like, you know, it's like there were certain songs I think that were a little bit more, I guess you could say, mainstream, radio friendly and stuff, and then there was stuff that was just like too hardcore that like you really just had to be a fan from the beginning to really appreciate, because it was not getting any airtime.
You heard the latest Deftones song?
No, I have not. I love Deftones.
Yeah, they got an album coming out later this month. They got 2 singles out. The other one dropped, I think, 2 days ago.
What? I need to check this out. I'm not going to play it, but I just need to.
Remember me and you were talking, I said Deftones are hit and miss for me?
Right.
Yeah, this album sounds like it's going to be good.
Milk of Madonna.
Who says Deftones. Yes.
Private Music.
I like that.
Okay. Private Music
What's the
and
name of
more.
the first one?
Let's see. They did the
What's the name of
stylistic
the album Private Music.
Yeah, I think so. They did
There's a
the
snake on the front.
Yeah, they did the stylistic choice of having the text upside down. I don't know why people do that. Yeah, the snake is right side up, but the text is upside down. Milk of Madonna. That's the one from 2 days ago. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to listen to this. So they're sticking with the white theme First it was a white pony, now it's a white snake.
White pony. Then they had what was the one with the owl on the front of it? Because that was white too.
Oh yeah. For some reason I kept thinking about Around the Fur. Oh yeah, gifts. Good. Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes. Yep.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's I remember that shit. That's right, dude. It's crazy, man, when you look back
Yeah,
on
that
their
one
past
was all
music,
on the
man.
front, and that was white.
That was changed.
Yeah, the albums are either white or it has a girl on the front of it.
What was it? That one was Around the Fur with the girl on it. Looked like she was like tripping balls,
Let me
maybe.
go back.
Like she
There's
was.
two of them. You got Saturday Night Wrist, where the girl's looking up. That's my favorite one. You got Around the Fur, the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
It looks like she's coming out of a pool or something like that, but it does look like she's tripping.
Yes. And you have Adrenaline that had it looked like a douche. I don't know what the hell that was. If that was like a
It is.
shell or something. Is it a douche? Okay.
It's a douche.
Okay.
There's
And,
one with a Japanese name. I can't tell what's on the front of that, but it looks like there's a museum. There's a statue of a woman, but it's really in the background.
Koi no Yukon or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's their last good one. They did two more after that one, and this will be the third one after that.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
upcoming.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you put me on that. That they put on some new music, dude. I mean, this band got me through high school, dude. So I was listening to them.
Oh, did you hear Slick Rick's last album?
No. Last album? He's done?
Yeah, it came out this year. What was it, May? I think he dropped one in May.
You said Slick Rick?
Yes. Slick fucking Rick.
From like the 70s?
Yeah, the storyteller.
Oh shit.
80s. 80s.
Oh, 80s. I'm sorry, not 70s. Yeah, that's going back too far.
Yeah, Uncle Rick, you tell me a story, that dude.
Okay, so
The eye
Slick,
patch and all that.
Slick Rick came out of a movie Foreign about 2 weeks ago. You're having my baby. Oh shit. And the woman has a freaking eye patch on her eye. That's funny. Damn, dude.
I don't remember the name of it, but I rated it a 6.7. Nothing different, but it's a good album.
Documents featuring Nas. Oh shit, he got Nas on the track? Damn.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude.
And the year before, what's his name? DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill. He put out an album and had different MCs on it. And there's a track with Slick Rick and Method Man on.
Oh wow. Nice, dude.
So far, the best track has CeeLo on it. And Goody Mob.
Yeah. Bro, what the hell is with Will Smith, man? Being the corniest man alive right now.
I heard he's coming out with another movie.
Really? I mean, that I'm
Yeah,
fine
but I
with
didn't
because
hear anything about the movie.
I mean, no, he's putting out rap music though. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I heard he did release an album. I didn't check it out though.
He did a freestyle on Lyrical Lemonade, and it was like the worst shit I've heard in a long fucking time. And I can't remember the bars that he said in it, but it was pretty cringy, bro. He's like, "This is the bounce
What's the name
back."
of the Korean actor that's a comedian? Randall Park. He did a freestyle. He did a freestyle on Sway's thing, Sway in the Morning or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
You seen that?
No. Oh, hold on. Sway in the Morning. That was yeah, because I know he's always busting out freestyles. What's the dude's name? What's the Asian
That's
guy?
the first time I ever. Randall Park.
There it is.
It's Randall Park, right? Because I hope I'm not fusing Asians together.
Yeah, that's him. That's the guy?
Okay.
That's the guy that I always see playing Jim from The Office. That's like the whole running joke, whatever, that he stood in for Jim, whatever. And yeah. That's where I know this guy from.
It's like, you're not Jim. What do you mean? It's like, Jim's not Asian. Always been Asian. It's in that clip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Damn, I'm going to watch that later, too. Shit. Oh, all right. We have reached our limit, sir.
I might have to watch it now, man, because I'm about to jump off.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch it after the stream ends, but I'm gonna have to call it there, man. It is 3 a.m. We have gone over by about 6 minutes, man. I appreciate everybody who came out to hang out with me, and K5, appreciate the conversation, appreciate the recommendations for videos. I got some stuff to watch now. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, man.
I was trying big ups for jumping on our conversation at first. He opened it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Kavos and just all the hustlers. I appreciate you guys rocking with me every week. I will be back next Saturday, same time, same place. And yeah, you guys have a good weekend, man. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Same camp time, same camp channel.
I didn't want to cringe anybody out, man, on the X set. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And yeah, man, take it easy, brother. I'll catch you on the next one, bro.
All right, peace, man.
Have a good night. All right, guys, that's all I got. You guys, if you guys haven't liked the video, make sure you like the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Take care, guys. XO Charles, peace out, brother. Peace out, everybody.